I will lead us in. Yeah, I think we've had recaps from both of you, haven't we?
I did, yeah, last week's.
And I think Matt did the one before that. So, last time, we finally got into the carnival and all of the festivities that were unfolding. There was a wonderful speech given by Winnie Knight of Pokédonald's, the founder and CEO. There were many carnival games to be had. Brooke won herself a little squirt gun Squirtle. Jackson won a plush toy. And during the races, the three-legged race, he won himself a multi-tool and a Pokemon coupon, a Pokédonald's coupon.
Hell yeah.
Following that, you guys headed to the fireworks tent, helped Calum and his father, Garrett, out with that setup. Following which, you were paid a little bit of money, and you guys opted to take them up on their advice to go to the Ferris wheel and essentially watch the fireworks from the best seat in the house. You learned a lot about your Pokemon in the process, and there was a lot of juggling happening.
Yeah.
But generally, everything turned out swell. Jackson faced off with his Maul in a less aggressive sense.
It was cute.
And I feel like you guys really grew together a bit there.
Definitely had to assert dominance at one point, but
Yes,
lessons were learned.
After a long night, you guys woke up the next morning to your obligation. Brooke had accepted a challenge from a young contender named Indigo. It was a hard-won fight, but Brooke did eventually win,
I keep this butt in hand.
making another provision of which she would give a kiss for
On the
tripling
cheek.
the money won from the battle. To which Indigo stole his prize and took off with his hurt Pokemon in hand back to, presumably, the Pokemon Center.
And I feel like he cheated me on the boss.
Which brings us to right now.
Hey.
Where last we left, Brooke, you were standing there, essentially just counting the money that Indigo had handed you. A decent sum of cash. On the sideline is Jackson and Dewey. Dewey is clapping. Very good, very good. That was most enjoyable. Well done, young lady.
Thank you.
Sir, is it our turn to go? Did you want to?
Yes.
Yeah,
I
you
would
guys
like
have
to,
your fight.
But I might take a quick trip back to the Pokemon Center. I realize I don't have the most fighty party with me.
Oh, you say, all right. I suppose I can wait here then. Don't be too long, though. I don't know how long the young master will be kept waiting. He's rather impatient.
I will be right back, and I'm going to start.
Jackson can just tell him that I'm here ready to watch the fight, and I'm sure that's enough incentive for him to get back, the little shit.
Yeah, it's fair.
Yeah, so you start hoofing it back down the street.
I'll wait here with the guy.
The streets are gradually lessening. More and more people seem to be disappearing. You can hear the sounds of engines as cars in the nearby fields are being started from their parked positions and driving down the road, essentially leaving. Most of which heading to the northeast sort of direction, the easternmost road. A few of them heading back south to the Bramble Town. You make your way to the Pokemon Center, opening the door, and largely the crowds have died down in here as well, but you do spot Indigo already at the desk, handing over his Pokeballs and talking to the nurse behind the counter.
I'm going to ignore him and just go to the PC.
Okay. So you head over to the PC directly to his right.
Yep.
You swipe the trainer pass into the machine. Your profile comes up, and you click through your boxes, all neatly displayed in a very intuitive manner, I will add, on the screen. Whoever designed this was excellent.
And I'm going to swap out Belle
Okay.
and Maui for now. And I'm going to get Perp and Dandy. It's been a while since I've had Dandy in the party.
Okay. So, with a couple clicks of your the PC screen, you take your Pokeballs that you would like to trade out. You put them on the little receptacle on the side. There is a vacuum sound that sucks up the Pokeball, disappears, and again with the second one, and you are returned with two more almost identical Pokeballs. You know well enough that these are the two Pokemon that you were looking to trade out, your Hoppip and your Sunkern.
Perfect, and I will just make my way back to the field that we were in.
Okay.
For the battle.
You head your way back. At this point in time, as you're leaving, Indigo is just sitting down, waiting for his stuff to come back to him. Kind of kicking his feet.
Him.
He may or may not notice you going in. You kind of got the impression that even if he did, he probably wouldn't address you. And he's just looking around blankly, like a kid who doesn't know what to do, killing time. He did look particularly flushed, though.
Of course he did.
And we head back down the street to the ring. Brook, as you were standing there waiting, Dewey likewise standing.
Just gonna sit in the grass or dirt with Liam.
Dewey is standing at one end of the field, kind of tapping his foot a little bit and looking around, watching the crowds disperse about him and some of the tents coming down in the far distance. You feel a slight prick against your bottom.
My bottom?
Against your bottom.
What? Look.
There is a single rose sticking out of your back pocket.
A single rose sticking out of my back pocket.
It is cut. Most of the leaves, except for the ones at the very top, are removed. It looks manicured, like one that you would see at a flower shop. Just a single white rose.
Liam, why is there a rose in my pocket?
Liam looks at you.
Did you see who put a rose in my pocket?
Liam shakes his head.
In my back pocket of my pants.
Of your pants.
That's really creepy.
A little bit. only slightly.
Someone got way too close to touching my bum for me to be okay with it. I'm sorry, your name was Dewey?
He looks over. Oh, yes, young miss.
Yeah, do you know how this rose got in my pocket?
I would suppose that you put it there.
I did? I did not put a rose in my pocket. Okay. The kid. Is he always this obnoxious?
Oh, yes, absolutely. If not worse.
And you're like his what, handler?
It's a word for it. I'm his personal assistant, appointed by his family.
Okay, so in other words, he comes from money.
A good deal, yes.
Okay. Yeah. You should maybe talk to him about his attitude.
Oh, believe me, I have. He's incorrigible. I've been trying to work him out of it for some time, but he will not be dissuaded. I'm really hoping at this point that he just grows out of it. I am so terribly sorry. I have disinfectant wipes if you would like.
I needed the money and I offered the kiss. Honestly, if he was politer, he probably would have got it anyway because he's a kid. And I could, to some extent, excuse the behavior. But I really needed the cash.
He kind of narrows his gaze a little bit and says, Do you typically exchange such favors for
Hell
cash.
no. Trust me, if he was like my age, that would have never happened. He's a kid. He's non-threatening. He's a shit. But he's non-threatening.
Right. Right. Because you know, there are lots of women who would do plenty of things to get.
Yeah, you
The
calling
master's
me
money.
a whore?
I am not implying anything. I'm simply looking after the master's best interest. I hope you understand. I am terribly sorry.
Let's just say it was my way of somewhat getting back at him by getting at his pocketbook, considering he thought it was a reasonable wager to begin with.
Oh, very good, young miss. I apologize.
It's
Terribly,
fine.
Terribly sorry.
Do you think anybody could get through to him?
I do not. You know, not anymore. No.
You don't think anybody could get through to this kid? He's like, what, 10?
He is of singular purpose.
He wants to be the very best.
But no, seriously, he's 10 years old.
Yes.
He's a shit. But isn't it kind of tragic to say that a 10-year-old can't have, I don't know, a better outlook for his future than this kind of attitude continuing forward?
I am hopeful. Yes.
Liam, is it worth having a heart-to-heart with this kid?
You know, kind of wince at you a little bit.
Is it worth trying to get him to change his behaving, his attitude?
Liam kind of huffs a little bit. Rolls his eyes. Crosses his arms.
Guess I just don't want another pig teenager that grows up into a man one day. What the fuck? I'm sure Jackson will be here soon. I'm gonna start walking to the Pokemon Center. Don't ditch out on him, okay?
Oh no, this is probably the most excitement I've had in some time.
And if I run
Nice
into you
to
guys
flex.
again, tell me if he's had a change of heart.
That's very good, young miss.
Okay,
All the best.
thanks.
As you walk
I
away,
have it.
you pass by Jackson on the street. You guys probably see each other again. The crowds are dying down, and it's a small distance where you're headed.
Jackson, I hope you don't
Huh?
mind, but I think I'm gonna try and have a heart-to-heart with a kid, considering no one else seems to be doing it.
Fair, go ahead. Let me know if you need backup.
Okay, have a good fight and try and kick Dewey's butt
Oh, I will.
in
I
the
think, maybe.
politest way and friendliest way possible.
I'm always friendly, I think, maybe.
Yeah.
I think maybe.
Good luck.
Thank you. Good luck to you too. You might need it.
Probably. Oh, Jackson, do you know who put this rose in my pocket?
There's a rose in your pocket?
Yeah, in my back pocket.
Oh, that's a little untoward.
Invasive. Yeah. Okay, I take it you don't know then. Okay. Have
I
a
didn't
good
see
fight.
anything.
Okay.
Have a good talk, which might end up being more of an argument and another kind of fight, I suppose.
Maybe I'll win that one too.
Hopefully.
Before Jackson goes and starts his Pokemon fight, was Liam lying to me? I'm really hoping it was from Liam and not from a creepy 10-year-old. Okay.
You slipped it into your back pocket when you're giving him a kiss.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm afraid of.
Jackson, you
This will
can
this will be romantic, not at all creepy.
Not at all.
Jackson, you make your way back down the street towards the sandy, dirt-covered Pokemon field. Dewey is standing at the other end, where his young master had taken the field previously, and he's got a Pokeball in his hand, and he's kind of just inspecting it thoughtfully. He sees you approaching and says, "Sir, you ready? I'm sorry to have sprung this on you. This was..."
Oh, no, it's totally fine. I mean, I sprung it on you and then realized I didn't actually have the Pokemon that I usually fight with on me, and thank you very much for being so understanding and courteous to let me go and swap some out.
Oh, no. I apologize for making you walk all that way. I probably should have accompanied you or something. Anyways, are you ready to begin?
You bet I am.
All right. Most excellent. Okay. And he goes through his Pokeballs and he thinks on which one to throw. So it's probably a good time to swap us over to the Haven Town Pokemon Field.
Who do I
Does
want
this
out
soundboard
there?
not work?
Oh, I didn't open it up.
Oh, yeah, that'll be why.
Might not be relevant right now. I'll get it.
I was.
Okay. You can minimize
I-
Steam and
I
it's
hit
on
the
the desktop.
battle start button. Yeah. Fine.
Okay. Let me find his stuff. And I guess while I'm in here, I can do this. Does this display for you guys?
It does.
This is
hi,
Dewey. His suit is a little big for him. It's a little creased. He's got this very apologetic sort of look on him, a little bit disheveled. He's a little unshaven. And he releases this small, pink, kitty-like Pokemon. It's got a big, thick, pink tail that almost looks like a hand or a paw, with little yellow hairs that come off the top of it. And as it looks around, it goes...
I will send out. Let's start with Angus.
Excellent. And can I get you to roll initiative for me real quick?
Yeah. Let's roll the big die for the first roll of the night. Oh. You betrayed me. That's a 5.
Okay.
Way to have- Focus on Jackson. There's like no good way.
Yeah, no, not really. It's a little big. But, I mean, it's also reasonably sized.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's
Totally.
just a little long for capturing on stream.
If it was like the other way, like landscape instead
Yeah,
of
landscape.
portrait.
Yeah, maybe next time I'll set it up like that. That's a
Oh,
fair
yeah.
suggestion. Okay, so Dewey's ready for you. Essentially, as you release your Pokeball, he nods his head, acknowledging that you are ready to go, and he calls out quickly, "Skitty, run down the field. Close the distance." And Skitty
Come at me, kitty!
barrels down the field towards you, stopping about halfway down the field, as far as it can make it in a single round. Its tiny little legs scurrying under it.
Let's. I'm gonna make a couple of assumptions here. I'm gonna have Angus move in just a little bit closer. Don't get too close though. I think that's the one. Hang on. I am trying to do the strategery. Yeah, that's the one. And does he have anything he can use from range? Yeah, he does. Do the thunder wavy thing.
Okay.
Have to use thunder wave.
Yeah, Electrike's... He skips and struts down the field, striking a pose right there. He lowers his head to the ground and puts his nose up to the air suddenly, and a burst of electricity springs from him. Oh, that's a really good save. That's going to be a 19 natural.
Oh, yeah.
The skitty manages to basically dig its claws into the dirt, and the electricity passes through it unharming.
Damn it!
End of your turn?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Dewey looks at this Pokemon and he says, "Perfect! Close the distance, get in a little bit closer, and use disarming voice." The skitty moves up the field just a little bit, scampering lightly, stopping and digging some holes into the sand around it. It braces itself, and it calls out, using Disarming Voice. Disarming Voice hits you automatically, and you are going to take... not on Disarming Voice. It's one of those moves that hits automatically.
Perfect. Oh, yeah, that's the one that was used against Melissa last time, too.
Yeah. So you are going to take 9 points of Fairy-type damage. Yeah. Electrike is struck by this sound as it comes through the air with a Fairy-type resonance. He shakes his head a little bit. It is now your turn.
Angus, try the Thunder Wave again, and then close the distance and smack it. So he's got a Thunder Wave, close the distance, and quick attack.
Beauty. So, Skitty's going to make another save. Oh, that's good. That's a natural 15, so 16.
Damn it, yeah.
Yeah, he's rolling really good.
And we have a Quick attack. And that is, ooh, hell yeah. It's a deck space. Why don't I have the frickin' powers put in here? I should. So that's 22 to hit.
22 hits. Absolutely.
Perfect. And he's still level 4, so it's just 1d4. And that is 5 points of normal type damage.
Wicked. Yeah, that hits easily. The Skitty was too busy preparing itself for the next jolt of electricity. It did not expect the quick side tackle that followed it. And it hits the ground. It didn't have far to fall. It kind of rolls over and then comes back hissing a little.
That's what you get. And then I'm going to start moving around.
Okay. Yeah. Dewey, following your lead, is likewise going to start moving around the side of the field.
I'll show the people where
moving
Dewey
downwards.
Is.
And he calls out, "Skitty!
Dewey!
Let's play this smarter. Use Sing."
Smarter.
Oh, shit.
Skitty props itself all proper light and starts going. And you can see Electrike starting to get a little... a little sleepy.
A little sleepy.
I need to roll a whole
Jimmy's
bunch of
looking at me
d8s.
really funny. Even I think you said something offensive.
Oh, no. 20. Is 20 over your max HP right now? Or
Yep.
your HP. Okay. So, Electrike falls asleep.
Poor puppy. Where's the sleepy looking one? Let's go with... What? Where is it? Where's just like a closed eye? Do they not have just like a closed eye? Oh, that'll work.
So, it's been a while since we've had an asleep Pokemon. A creature that is asleep is incapacitated and restrained for a maximum of 3 rounds, failing all strength and dex save during this time. If a Pokemon is returned to its ball during this time, its round count is paused until released once again. A sleeping creature can roll a d20 as a bonus action at the beginning of each of its turns, waking up on a result of 13 or higher.
So if it wakes up as a bonus action, does it still get to take its moves?
Yeah, it still gets
Minus
to
the
take a
bonus
move
action?
and it gets to take an action.
Okay.
Okay. So it is your turn. Sorry, the Skitty's gonna move back a little.
Angus, wake up! And just gonna, yeah. If he wakes up, I'm just gonna have him do a Thunder Wave. Does it still use the PP if I'm commanding and then using the bonus action to get him to try to save, or?
No, so if you roll your d20 and it is less than a 13, he just doesn't do anything, so it's not using the PP.
Okay. That's a natural 18. What kind of
Nice.
save is it?
It's just a straight d20 roll.
Oh, okay, never mind. Perfect. And he's going to use Thunder Wave again.
Wicked. Okay, the Skitty is going to make her save. That is a natural 14, so that'll be a 15. The Skitty's taken off guard as the sleeping pup rolls over and lashes out with a series of electricity, but
And,
manages to dodge it.
He's gonna get in closer. No, they already moved, yeah.
Okay. Comes in close again.
Because he doesn't have the charge thing like Axel.
Wicked. Dewey's going to move further down the field. I can get to him. Coming in to support his small kitten Pokemon.
Dewey is now.
And he calls out, "That didn't work, Skitty. I'm sorry. I thought that would work. It was a clever move, wasn't it? Do what we know works. Disarming voice."
I don't like it.
You're gonna take another 11 points of fairy type damage as it calls out. And it kind of echoes and reverberates. You can see Electrike shake its head. Your turn.
So it's an action to swap out Pokemon?
It is.
Okay, and can you apply potions to Pokemon in Pokeballs?
You can, yeah.
And is that an action or a bonus action?
Using potions is an action.
Okay.
The idea
Okay,
is that
that
anytime
makes
that you
sense.
would do
Yeah, yeah.
something, it foregoes you commanding your Pokemon to do something.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Oh, I didn't give any of my Pokemon any of the berries that I have, and that would have been great, but no. Hey, hey, what do all of my moves do? You know what? Try it again. Shock and awe. More Thunder Wave and a quick attack.
Okay. Ooh, I'm getting all my good rolls out right now. That was a
Ooh, son of a
natural
bitch.
19, so it's going to
Yeah,
withstand
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Go for your quick attack. Hold
that's
on.
Oh,
Nope, keep going. Never mind. I'm just reading an
Oh.
ability.
quick attack. I believe that's a +4, so that's 14 to hit.
14 hits.
Perfect.
Yeah, the Skitty doesn't have a very good defense, and you can tell as the Electrike comes in to hit it again with another quick attack, the Skitty barely moves.
And that's 4 points of normal type damage. I was about to say electric type
Wicked.
for some reason.
As a reaction, your Electrike is a male, is it?
Yep.
Okay. The Skitty is going to sort of wiggle its chest a little bit and blink its eyes,
Oh, God.
and it's going to use Attract. You need to make a Wisdom save.
Okay. Yeah, what's his wisdom? It's neutral. Ooh, that's only a 12.
A 12. Okay. Your Electrike is taken by this attraction,
Shit.
and it very half-heartedly attacks instead of how it did so before. So I need you to roll those damage dice again, and you'll take the lower result.
Okay. Well, that one was the exact same. So it's a 4.
So it still takes 4. Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. Bounces off the side of the Skitty, who looks a little annoyed that its trick didn't work.
Ah. It's what you get, you hussy.
Dewey looks across the field and says, "Very good, sir. That was an excellent move. Skitty, let's put it back to sleep. Sing."
Oh, that's right. There's a bunch of D8s.
That's right.
How many D8s is it? Because I can save you time rolling.
It's 5d8s. But that's going to be...
He's probably going to get it. I have 6 HP left.
That's going to be 22.
Yeah.
Okay. Again, the Electrike rolls over on the ground and falls asleep.
Or Electrike.
And the Skitty moves backwards. And Dewey moves down the field a little bit closer to its Pokemon.
It's Pokemon.
His? It? You don't know his gender. Okay.
I guess.
Jackson.
Regardless, he's not an it.
Fair enough.
It'd
Jackson.
be a they or a them.
20, 25, 30. I'm going to move up there. Oh, I should put an icon to make sure I know that Angus is asleep.
Yes.
And
Name me one person whose pronoun is it, and then we'll go with it.
That's a fair point. You're calling me out on my heteronormative...
Bullshit.
Yep. Or cisgendered. I don't know which one specifically to use. How little I know.
Angus, wake up and shock it again, or try to again. And that's a 13.
13 just makes it. And Angus shakes off the sleep.
And he's gonna try another Thunder Shock.
Wicked.
Or Thunder Wave, sorry.
Thunder Wave. Okay. Here we go again. Ooh, that's definitely a fail. That's a 7.
Ha, no.
Yeah, this time the
He is.
Skitty is caught.
And we're gonna move. Oh, nope, wrong one. Wrong tool.
That's just drawn all over the place.
Wrong lever.
Crunk.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Wait, what is his movement speed? I think it is just 30, but just
Probably.
might as well double check.
Yeah, Skitty was not expecting the Electrike to wake up very suddenly for a second time, and was kind of looking back at Dewey, looking for praise almost as it is struck by this electricity that just circles around it. It seems to be having a harder time moving now. Its joints locked up.
God damn right. And that's gonna be my turn.
Okay. Okay. Dewey calls out to his Pokemon, Skitty, are you all right? Are you all right, Skitty? Can you go on? That was a very good move, sir. Bravo. Excellent. Well done.
Thank you. You're doing pretty well yourself.
Oh, thank you. No, you're too kind.
The friendliest battle. You're doing very well.
Okay. Skitty runs 25 down the field and stops. It is going to use Foresight on you, but it needs to roll to see if it can. It is stricken by the paralysis, and it actually lands face first into the dirt and struggles to get back up. Its joints are entirely locked up, and it is considered restrained.
Oh, hell yeah.
Your turn.
Well, that'll make
Yay, they're
this
all on
maybe
the
a little
board
bit
now.
better. 5, 10, 15, 20. Angus, go and smack the crap out of it. And he's going to use a tackle and a quick attack.
Okay.
Nice.
And he's restrained, so it has advantage? Or
He does.
She's restrained, so it has advantage.
Correct.
That's a nat 20.
That hits.
And a modified 20.
Wicked.
Yes.
Both hit.
Plus
The
4.
Skitty can't move. It's literally tied up there.
So the tackle is just 1d6. So that's 5 points of normal type damage.
'Kay.
Oh, wait, no, the tackle was a nat 20, so I have another one. So
Right.
that's 6 points of normal type damage because I rolled a friggin' 1. And the quick attack is 5 points of normal type damage.
Wicked. Yeah,
And how many
the
feet of
Electrike
movement
closes
is
the
it?
distance with a mighty tackle, and as the Skitty falls down, it is stricken one more time by a quick jab with the paw.
Oh, crap, where was I here? I think I moved 20 in?
I
Or
think
was
that's
I
right.
back one
You
more?
either moved 20 or 25.
You moved 25 because I was one space away from being able to use.
Yep. Right. So Angus will also take a step back.
Okay. It will take an attack. No, it's restrained. It can still take an attack.
Yeah, but I believe it's a disadvantage.
It will be. But it doesn't matter, because it's going to use Disarming Voice, which hits automatically anyways.
Uh-oh.
You're going to take... That's a good roll. That's 11 points of fairy-type damage as it calls out.
Angus fainted.
Okay. Stepping away from its paralyzed target is struck.
And we'll send out... Burp.
Burp!
And can I send him out anywhere within 60 feet of me, or does he have to be where Angus was?
Anywhere within 60 feet of you.
We are taking advantage of this.
Yeah, absolutely. Perfect. And this small...
I mean, I did it last time, so...
This small
Yeah.
seedling lands on the field right next to the paralyzed and mostly restrained small kitten Pokemon. Okay. That's the end of your turn. It is now Dewey's turn. Dewey's going to call out to his Skitty. He says, "Okay, Skitty, that's enough. You're hurting. Come back, Skitty. We'll use somebody else." Skitty disappears inside a Pokeball, and out comes... This small, bluey-gray humanoid character. It's maybe only 2 feet tall, so toddler-esque in a way. It's got a reptilian almost snout and these 3 crests on top of its head. It's got bulging muscles and quite the physique for a creature of its size. And Dewey shouts, "Excellent form, Machop! Let's see if we can't show this one the what for, huh?" And that's the end of his turn. Now your turn, Jackson.
Perfect. Can you use Ingrain on yourself?
Yep.
Perfect. Then I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
Or Growth, sorry, not Ingrain.
Growth. Oh yeah, absolutely.
You answered when it wasn't even the right move.
Ingrain or growth, either are.
Oh, okay. I was like, Steven.
I think it probably has both.
Yeah. Any attack roll, save and throw for the duration. Okay. And let me double check and see if this is concentration. I believe it is. Although it doesn't say in the description whether or not it's concentration.
I can double check.
It makes sense that it would be, because it's one action with the duration of a minute.
Growth, 1 minute concentration.
Perfect. I will put a little C on that.
Okay.
So I know. And that's an action. That's the only thing that he can do right now.
Perfect. Okay.
Got a big CD boy.
Perfect. Okay. Dewey calls out, "Excellent. It's pumping itself up. Pump yourself up. Focus your energy."
Oh, shit.
And it's going to focus his energy. You can see him start flexing. Your turn.
Now we're going to use Ingrain.
Ooh, very good.
Or is that also a concentration? It
I
says that
don't
lasts
think
3
so.
rounds, so.
Let me double check. I don't think it is.
Oh wait, no, it doesn't do anything yet. So never mind. I'm not going to use Ingrain. Perp, do the absorby thingy, and we're going to use ourselves an absorb.
Wicked,
Nice.
make an attack.
Uh,
With its
that's a 13.
13 hits.
Oh shit! Thank God.
Yeah, this little Pokemon's kind of cocky, and as the small seedling comes in with its shoots, trying to sap life from it, it basically lets it.
So that is it's a minus. Oh, it's a minus. That's 2 points of grass type damage.
2 points of grass.
Gotta love those minuses.
Or wait. Oh no, attack roll or saving throw, not damage. Okay.
I think you do get to add a couple for using growth, though. I think you get to add a d4 to your attack.
Yeah, to the attack roll. So, oh, that would have made it better. I just didn't roll that before, but not to the damage itself.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, where the Sunkern was smaller than this Machop, it is now about the same size due to the growth. And the two of them are kind of wrestling. But the Machop is smiling. It seems to be enjoying this little tussle. And Dewey calls out again. Perfect! Shake it off and use another focus energy. Prop yourself up. And the Machop flexes almost literally the Sunkern off and continues to do the Shayla buff in front of him.
The Shayla booth.
Yeah. Just do it. Do it.
It was just an interesting choice of descriptors.
Your turn.
I'm not sure how much I like this matchup, pup, so come back, and I'm gonna send out Dandy.
Okay.
So that 30 feet that way and 30 feet up.
Okay, and 30 feet up. Got it. You want me to type in there or draw that?
I got her.
Okay. Beauty. All right. Dewey is surprised by this turn of events and says, maybe you're not the best suited for this one, Machop. Looks like they're getting crafty. Come back. And Machop is going to disappear inside a Pokeball.
Damn it.
And he's going to throw out another Pokemon that you have not seen before. This Pokemon is orange in color. It has 5 points like a star with a shining red jewel in
Brook
the
would be
center
so
of it.
excited.
You can
so
see it kind of
excited.
stretch as it hits the sand, digging in two of its extremities.
Well then.
I don't think we've run into many water type Pokemon.
No, we haven't run into many water type at all.
If
You
at
have not?
all, yeah.
You guys have mainly been running around fields and stuff.
Yep, not a lot of starfish there.
No.
No, not so much.
Surprisingly.
Right.
Jackson, it is your turn.
And Dandy, close in and do the poisony thing. 5, 10, 15. Oh, wait, no. What's his movement speed? I think it's 20 as a fly. Let me double check. It's been a while since I fought with him. Yep, 20 fly speed.
Okay.
5, 10, 15, 20. Gonna fly 20, staying 30 feet up. And would you say going down to him that it would be about 40 feet?
You know, I've been thinking about this and how this would work. Easiest way to check this is the fact that we basically have the tools already here, right? So if we're saying that this is 30 feet and he's 30 feet up, that would put him here. That would be 30 feet from there to there. So, yeah.
Then I will use, or let me double check and make sure that that's the one with the 40 feet. Yeah, it is. Poison powder.
Wicked. Does he need to make a save?
He needs to make a con save.
Con save. Just to clarify, the star U is genderless. That is a 12.
That, wait. Plus, yeah. Yeah, that just beats it.
Ooh. Yeah, shaking it off. The star almost spins shuriken-like, dispersing the shroud of poisonous powder. Are you still 30 feet up?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Dewey assesses what is in front of him here. And he is going to call out for his Staryu to proceed a little bit further, and it hops. 1, 2, 3. 15 feet forward, and it looks up at you, and then it releases this torrent of water. Staryu, use water gun! Ooh, that's not good. That is going to be a 5.
Ha! Does not hit.
Like a water pistol. Up into the air. Hoppip easily dancing
like
around
one
it.
of those wimpy water pistols.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Like the one that Brook won.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And it's going to move back another 15. And wait for you expectantly.
Second verse, same as the first. More poison.
Okay. Gonna make another Constitution save, and that's a bad roll too. That is a... Oh, sorry. Wrong. That's a 15.
You're fucking
Ah, yeah.
I was gonna say, that's a 4. No, that's a 1-4. Yeah, shakes it off again. Not having it.
Yeah. And he doesn't have any bonus actions, so that's gonna be it for Dandy. I will go bop, bop, bop.
Okay. Do.
Do.
Excellent. This Staryu is going to dig its little feet into the ground a little bit further. You can see its whole body start to shine as Dewey calls out, Hot in your form!
Hardin won't help when I poison you.
And he looks hotter. Your turn.
I'm gonna do the exact same thing as I did the last 2 times.
'Kay.
It'll have to work one of these 20 pp.
That's going to be a 12. 11 plus 1.
I think, yeah, that meets it again.
Yeah, as it comes out of its hardened state, it spins around again. And in a flurry. This seems to be a fairly con-capable Pokemon.
Apparently.
Dewey's gonna call out, let's get ready for that attack. It's coming. Hot in again. And once again, the Staryu hardens its form.
I don't like it, but poison it again.
Okay. Even better. That's going to be a not natural 20.
Oh. Well.
Shit.
At this point, there's poison powder floating on
Just
the breeze.
everywhere. Yeah.
Yep.
People
There's,
in
like,
town are passing out.
There's Pokemon like a mile downwind of here that are just going to end up coughing for the next 5 days.
Anything else?
No.
Okay. Yeah. He's gonna call out. Excellent. Let's keep this trend going. We're doing well. Hot in again. And the Staryu grows even harder. Your turn.
Move in a little closer. 5, 10. Woo, weird. 5, 10. And then up another 10 as well to 40 feet.
Okay.
Wait, no. No, I won't do that. We'll stay at 30 feet above the ground and poison him again. I believe in you, Dandy.
This time,
The most intense fight ever.
the Staryu, through its rigorous hardening, is pretty rigid at this point. It's like a stone in the sand. And
still
it
has to breathe.
cannot maintain a solid defense against this. And you can see its jewel kind of dim a little bit, and it shakes a little. You can tell that the poison has set in.
Finally! Oh my god.
Let me just refresh myself on what poisoned do.
It do a thing.
I think it does. Give me poison. Oh, isn't it disadvantage on attack? Oh no, I'm thinking D&D poison.
I think it does damage every
It does have
turn.
disadvantage on ability checks and attacks. Takes amount of
takes
damage
its
equal to its proficiency
proficiency
bonus at the
Yeah.
end of each of its turns. Until it faints or is cured. Yeah. Yeah,
Don't
okay.
you dare come in and cure him just yet, or cure it just yet.
Yeah, it
I
looks
just
not
got
great.
This.
Perfect. Yeah, Dewey says, Staryu, you all right? Excellent form there, sir. You're a master technician. All right. Tactician. And the Staryu's going to move in right underneath your Hoppip there, and it's going to let loose another water gun.
Come at me!
At disadvantage. Wow. That was a natural 20,
Or
a natural 1.
Wow.
Yes,
Love
both
it.
sides of the spectrum.
Yeah, the water flies up in the air, and Dandy once again propellers like an Apache helicopter, dispersing the water, and it just trickles down like a light rainfall. Your turn. And he is
Perfect.
going to take 3 points of damage at the end of his turn
Yeah.
from the poison.
So if I'm 30 feet up, would I have to move directly over him to use a move that has 30 feet of range?
No, I think you're good right there because it
Perfect.
technically occupies like a 5-foot space upwards as well.
Yeah.
So that should put it
So
within that.
then we'll smack it with a fairy wind.
Okay. Yeah, tossing
And-
forth a wind of pink, wonderfully smelling aroma.
Dex. Why don't I have any of my freaking modifiers in here? So that is a 12 to hit.
12. You get the sense that even before the star you had hardened, this attack would have just bounced off its form. It is far too defensive. Okay.
All I've got to do is keep it occupied until the poison kicks in.
Dewey calls out again. Perfect. Keep shooting it. We gotta hit it one of these times. Water gun. The water gun goes off again. Oh yeah, natural 3. That's gonna be a 4.
Nope.
Okay, shooting off again. Oh, sorry, it would be more than that. It'd be like a 7. Up into the air, not hitting anything. Your turn.
All right, Dandy, keep tossing some pinky wind at it until we hit it. And that's, worse than the first one. That's a 9.
9, not at all. In fact, the wind is definitely hitting this Pokemon. It's not trying to dodge it, but it's just buffering it, and the Staryu looks entirely unfazed.
Damn it!
Okay.
You know what, Dandy? Move up another 20 feet. And we're going to climb to 50 feet.
50 feet. Okay. Yeah. As you climb up there, Dewey's gonna call out, just wait it out. When it gets closer, use water gun. Hold your turn. And it's going to hold an action.
I could be a real dick.
Your turn.
We'll stay 50 feet up. I just won't do anything.
Okay.
Dandy, stay where you're at. You've got a poison. You don't need to do much else.
Okay. Dewey looks over at you, and he says, "Good form, sir. Good form. Oh, you've got me in quite the spot, haven't you? Okay.
That's what I have to do.
Staryu, return.
Two
Go.
Pokemon that are very bad for the rest of my Pokemon.
All right, it's your turn. Go Cacnea. And before you, you see this small spiky green ball with limbs. It's a small cactus-type Pokemon with almost like a yellow crown-like flower on the top of its head. Its mouth is kind of twisted, gnarled, almost like it was embedded into a root. And it looks over unnervingly towards your Hoppip flying in the sky.
I don't like that.
Your turn.
What's the range on poison powder? I think it's 40 feet. Yeah. Do that thing where you poison him too. We go 5, and then 15 lower to 35 feet.
Okay.
And use that poison powder.
All right. Gonna make a Constitution save. Oh, that's a natural 1. Yeah, it fails. And it is absolutely poisoned. You can see it shrink and shrivel a little bit, reacting to this poison. It looks unhappy and generally unwell. Anything else?
Nope, that's all I'm doing. And all of his Pokemon are terrible for Billy.
Hey. The Cacnea looks back towards its master, its eyes sunken and unhappy. And Dewey says, "Oh, sorry, buddy. You know what? We can fix this. Use growth." And the Cacnea sticks its needle-like arms into the ground, and it swells, growing about a foot. Your turn. And it takes some damage at the end of its turn.
Yeah. Dandy, throw more pink wind. Oh, son of a... Why can't I roll well for this move at all times? +4, so that's another 9.
9 does not hit. The cactus Pokemon dances in spot, moving through the sandy terrain and dodging the brunt of this attack.
Well then.
Okay. Yeah, Dewey calls out, "Perfect! Now seed it! Leech seed!" And the Cacnea is going to throw a series of sprouts up towards your Hoppip. At disadvantage because it's poisoned. It's adding a d4. Yes! That is going to be a 17.
That hits.
Okay. A number of these small sprouts land on your Hoppip and take root. Your Hoppip immediately looks a little unsure of itself as it takes stock of these roots on it.
This doesn't count as a negative status ailment, does it?
It does not.
Damn.
End of the Cacnea's turn.
Oh, wait, I would have had to drop down 5 feet for that fairy wind.
Okay, so you're at about 30 feet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Throw more wind at it. That's the only offensive thing you can do from a range. Hey, that's better. That's an 18.
18 definitely hits. Yeah, roll some damage.
There we go. And, oh, 1d12. Thank you. Oh. What is a plus? Dex or cons? We'll take con. Yeah, that's 4 points of fairy type damage.
Wicked. The Cacnea throws up its cacti-like arms in front of it, swelling and bulging, but it can't block the brunt of the force, and it does seem to be hurt by this. Is that the end of your turn?
Yep.
Okay. At the end of your turn, you are going to take
some damage.
5 points of grass-type damage.
Okay.
Is that reduced?
Yeah.
Okay, so you take round down, so that's 2. And you notice the Cacnea look marginally better, and then immediately worse. Okay, your turn.
But the wind seems to have done the trick. Hit it again.
Oh, sorry, that was your turn. It is its turn.
Oh, that was my turn.
Yeah.
Right. Sorry.
It's gonna move.
Good, because I rolled terribly.
It's gonna start hopping downfield, moving out of your reach.
Not if I have anything to say about it. 5. Or is it still its turn?
Yeah, it's gonna move all the way down there, just dashing down the field. It seems to move fairly easily through this sand. Now it's your turn.
Well, shit. I'm a slow boy. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. For a full dash.
Okay.
And then I will... Bip, 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 bip.
Yeah, Hoppip takes off, chasing the Cacnea down the field. End of your turn, you are going to take some damage.
Yep.
That's going to be 5 more points of grass-type damage, reduced to 2.
Reduce back down to 2.
And the Cacnea heals a little bit.
And then feels back worse.
Okay.
I'm doing 1 point more than his healing, I think.
Yeah, Cacnea's turn. Starts booking it down the field again.
That's son of a beach. Okay.
The poison is taking its effect, and it is looking to be slowly being worn down. This is a battle of attrition.
So the poison doesn't go away if I swap Pokemon, right?
It does not.
Perfect.
Poison stays. Unless you have an ability that does otherwise.
We're gonna take a risk. Go, Billy! I'm gonna pop him down way over there.
Okay. Yeah, Billy appears on the field. Woo woo! Woo woo! Eyeing up, looking for its opponent. Yeah, way down there, eh?
Yep.
Okay. Dewey stares down the field, and he says, "Oh, perfect, Cacnea. This is excellent. Stay right there. Use Leech Seed again." And the Cacnea is going to shoot off a series of these seeds towards you. He is still poisoned, so he is going to take it at disadvantage. However, with that D4, solid. That is going to be a 17.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay. Your Sudowoodo standing there, waiting an attack, sees these little seeds flit down around it, soaking into its rocky form and taking root. Woo, 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 woo!
It's okay, Billy!
And the Cacnea is going to start moving forward. To about there. Your turn.
Oh, I kind of cornered myself, didn't I? It's fine. It's fine. Billy's got a shit ton of health.
The Cacnea takes a bit more damage from its poison.
Perfect. Billy, throw a rock at it using rock throw.
Okay, make an attack.
Nat 20.
Wicked.
So that's 4d6. So
Wow.
that's 10. That's hope. That's 10 plus 7 is 17 plus 4 is 21 points of rock type damage.
Okay. You smoke this small cactus Pokemon, and as the rock hits it, the cactus goes flying with it as well, landing downfield. And as the rock rolls away, the cactus does not get up. It disappears inside a red beam of light and returns to its Pokeball.
Yeet!
Dewey just puts a hand over his mouth and goes, "Oh my, good shot, sir."
Does the leech seed go away after cacti faints?
Let me double check.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't. Not entirely certain.
I remember it lingering for Pokemon battles in the game, so I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, let me double check.
Oh, I don't like that either.
Yeah, until it faints or is switched out. So you are still seated. So you are going to take some damage at the end of your turn.
Wait, until it faints or is switched out?
Till your Pokemon.
Until your Pokemon.
Oh, until yours. Okay.
Yeah. So you are going to take 8 points of grass type damage, which
16
restores the HP of the Staryu. Staryu suddenly looks very good.
But it should still be poisoned.
It is not. You'll notice that as it returned to its
Oh, right.
Pokeball due to its
Right,
special
right.
ability, Nature Cure, it actually healed itself.
Oh. Well
Yeah.
then.
Swapping
We
out
have
this
a sneaky
Pokemon
wicket.
will cure any negative status ailments. Okay. Perfect. And Dewey's gonna call out. You've got it right in the corner there. If you can hit it with a water gun. He's just within range, so he is going to use water gun.
Miss.
It's gonna be a +3, +1, +12. Gonna be a 16.
Yeah, that hits.
16 hits.
I was very happy when I heard the 3 + 1 and the plus 12 came.
That is going to be 10 points of water type damage. Right at your Billy. Billy takes it right in the face. And for the first time since he became a Sudowoodo, he almost looks like he's crying again. Your turn.
I don't like this. Okay, Billy, come back.
Hey. Woo, woo, woo. He disappears inside your
Angus
Pokeball.
Fainted. And who do I want out instead? Let's go with Pup.
Wicked. Perp appears right before the Staryu. Dewey is going to move up the field a bit
Oh yeah, I should too. Fine.
towards his Pokemon as he calls out, he's right within range. Hit it with a rapid spin. And the star is going to start spinning. Oop,
Come at me.
lost that one. That's going to be a 14.
14. Ah, yeah, that hits.
Okay. You are going to take 8 points of normal type damage.
Oh my gosh.
Spinning like a shuriken, the Staryu spins its body and tackles into the side of the Sprout Pokemon. Your turn.
Okay, use growth again. Get swole. Get swole.
Perp swells to almost twice its size. It is now easily larger than the Staryu, and it looks down on it.
Which one of these looks the most swole? Hey.
The swole one. Ooh. Okay. Dewey's gonna move a little bit further up to be right behind his Pokemon there to support, and he's gonna call out,
Yep.
"Do it again! Keep it going!" And the Staryu is going to use Rapid Spin again. That's even better. It's gonna be a 19.
Yeah, that hits.
And Perp is gonna take another 8 points of normal type damage. Smack.
Okay. Now using grain. I'm gonna have
Okay.
him sink into the ground.
Wicked.
And
A series of
including
shoots
this
dig out
one.
from underneath Perp and latch itself into the ground, sort of immobilizing it, but you can see it actively seeping in nutrients.
Yeah, and it heals itself for 6
Wow.
damage on
Very
its first
good.
turn.
Okay. End of your turn?
Yep.
Awesome. Yeah, Dewey's gonna yell at his Staryu. We've got it scared. I think this is a good technique. What do you think, sir? Am I doing
it
all
hit me
right?
with the- It hit me with the rapid spin after I used growth.
It did.
Okay, then I need to
Make a
concentration
cons.
check.
Yep.
It only dealt 8 damage, so this had to be 10, and
Yep.
that is a 13.
Yeah, you're good. It's gonna come with another
You're
rapid
doing
spin.
wonderfully.
That's going to be a not natural 20.
Okay, yeah, he hits.
We're gonna take another 7 points of normal type damage.
And that's a 23 for my concentration check.
Wicked, you're still good.
Natural frickin' 19. And now, eat his face, absorb.
Make an attack.
And, ooh, so that's an 18 minus 1, so that's 17.
17 just hits.
Perfect.
Yeah, the Staryu
And-
sort of sticks out its 5 points and accepts this, not expecting for it to actually go through.
Oh, hell yeah, and that's max damage, which is only 5.
Okay, the
But it
Staryu
should be vulnerable.
is absolutely vulnerable, and it stumbles back a little bit. So that's 10 points that you did. I think you
Yep,
get to
and
heal
I get
5 of
back
that.
5.
Wicked. Yeah.
And I also get back, because of Ingrain, another 4.
There you go. Looking pretty good at this moment, I take it.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
And I have one more round of Ingrain left. I should mark that.
Wicked. The Staryu is looking pretty good so far. It got topped up there when it came into that Leech Seed. But it's going to go in for another Rapid Spin. This is what it's got.
That looks like Ingrain.
That's going to be a 12 to hit.
I believe that does hit. Let me double check. Yes.
You're going to take 6 points of normal type damage. Your turn.
It's all good, and you got one more round of Ingrain left, so we're just gonna absorb again.
Okay.
And that's a 4.
4 does not hit. Yeah, this time latching onto the side of the Staryu. The Staryu shrugs it off. Its
But
hard
I
exterior is
do-
too thick and too tough.
I do get another 5 hit points back
Yeah.
from Ingrain.
Ooh. Okay. The Staryu's going in for another Rapid Spin. Keen
That's
on
last
wearing you
round.
down. That's going to be a 16.
That hits.
You're going to take 6 points of normal type damage this time.
Okay. I guess just absorb it. Just numb it. Hit. Oh, there should be one more off of that. And that's another 17.
That hits.
Perfect. That's 1d6. Oh. So that's 1 point of grass type damage.
Up to 2.
And I heal 1.
There you go. Did you take con checks for your growth?
Oh, I did not, sorry. That's another 23, sorry.
Okay.
And was there another
There might have been
one?
2. Make one more.
Yeah. And that's a 14.
Okay. You are good. The Staryu's coming in for another Rapid Spin. It's just going to keep buffering you. That attack, it's going to be a 15.
Hits.
And that's going to be 4 points of normal type damage. Almost
Just
losing
keep-
steam.
Just keep nomming on him, son. Or perp. And we're going to... Oh, God. That was outside of the tray. Oh. And that's a 14.
14 does not hit. It wraps its shoots around the limb of this Staryu. The Staryu takes it and then just brushes it off.
Damn it.
It's got a very thick, stony, almost hide.
How many C's
How many?
in that thick?
Thick. A couple with a few K's on there too.
Oh, jeez.
This
more
time
than a
coming
few
around, this time coming around, the Staryu entirely misses with a 7, spinning
Heck yeah.
wide, landing back in its spot.
I believe in you, perp. Eat its face. Oh, that's a 18.
18 hits.
Oh, thank God. You were rolling better, so let's go with you. Hey! And that's 4 points of grass type damage.
Wicked. Yeah, it's looking a bit hurt at this point in time. You can see that it's shrugging a little bit. It's a bit tired from all this exertion, and now the damage that is starting to come off of it, it's looking a bit hurt.
Yes.
Okay.
He missed with the last rapid spin. That's why I didn't roll a concentration.
Dewey calls out. He says, "We don't have much here. We gotta wear it down. This is not a good matchup for you. Rapid spin again. That's gonna be a 19.
Yep.
That's gonna be 6 points of normal type damage. Smack.
Okay. Eat it. Eat it. Just eat it, pup. Oh, that's a modified 1.
Oh no. Missing entirely. This time the Staryu kind of spins itself around to the backside of the Sunkern as it falls flat on its face, and then they pivot back around to their original position.
It's okay, pup.
Okay. Dewey's gonna try something. He holds out his Pokeball, and Staryu disappears. Come back! Alright, Machop, it's your turn. And Machop appears before you. Your turn.
Yep, just changing the battery real quick. Okay. Perp, that's not a good one for you. Dandy, get back out there, and we'll go. No, not the grabby tool, the measuring tool. So here, and 30 feet up again.
Okay. Well then. Hmm. 30 feet up, you say?
Yes. I have to strategize because my Sudowoodo can't do shit in this fight without being in danger.
Okay. Yeah, he's gonna call back his Machop and throw in his Skitty.
Well then.
Right there.
I want him to feel useful, so we'll send out Billy.
Hey, Billy appears before him. Yeah, Dewey's gonna smile and he's gonna say, "Perfect! Skitty,
Oh.
you sing." And the Skitty is going to sing. Oh, that's pretty good. $31.
Yep.
31 does it?
Yep.
Hey, as the Skitty sits there and sings its kitten-like song, Sudowoodo slowly lowers itself into the sand, falling asleep right there. And then Skitty is going to move back. Right there. Your turn.
Let me just get a little. Billy, if you wake up, throw a rock at it, please. And I guess we'll roll to see if he wakes up. Oh, it's a natural 14.
Natural 14, he wakes up.
And he's gonna yeet. Oh, that's a 25 to hit.
That hits. This little kitten turns around to see this rock coming straight for it.
Aw. Taking 8 points of rock type damage.
You imagine the Skitty would have splattered if it wasn't called back into its Pokeball, and it disappears. And Dewey goes, again, excellent shot, sir. Oh.
This is his first fight in his evolved form.
Oh, very good. All right. Go Staryu. See if we can't finish this off. Use Water Gun.
Oh crap, that's right, he gets to attack with it right off the bat. Shit.
That's going to be a 17.
Ah, yeah, that hits.
Okay. You are going to take... That is... It's going to be 13 points of water-type damage.
That's exactly what I needed to make him faint.
Oh, really?
Yep, he was at 26.
Shit.
Oh. As Sudowoodo is sitting there, it's been a long time since he's fallen down, and he gets nailed straight in the face. And he falls backwards and lands on the ground, unconscious, disappearing into a red beam of light. And Hoppip makes an appearance.
We'll put him over here and 10 feet up.
Okay.
There we go. And, Dandy! Poison it, please. More poison powder.
Okay. Staryu is going to make a save. That's really good. That's going to be a natural 19.
Yeah.
Yeah, Staryu shakes it off like it did before. You can see that the Staryu is really huffing and puffing. It is flexing. It seems to be tired from the amount of exertion. But it is going to try to water gun you.
Shot through the heart.
It's going to be a 14.
Yeah, it hits.
You're going to take, 4 points of water type damage as it
Reduce
hits the leaf.
2. All right, Dandy, just throw some pink wind at it and see if that does it. No, that's... What is your modifier for it? It is... +4, so it's a 16.
16 just hits.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, 16 is its AC.
1d12. Ah, so that is 3 points of fairy type damage.
Okay. Yeah, the Staryu takes it like a champ, but obviously was hurt by that. It is going to shoot another spray of water up at you.
Do it. I dare you.
That's going to be an 18.
Yeah.
And you're going to take 8 points of water type damage.
Do 4.
Spraying up, this time hitting with precision. The Hoppip is not taking a lot of damage from it, but is consistently being hit. Your turn.
Yeah. Dandy, throw more fairy stuff at it. That's a modified 20.
That hits.
And the d12. Hey, that's better. That's 7 points of fairy type damage.
Wicked. As they're exchanging blows, the Hoppip is probably getting the leg up here on this Staryu, who is looking increasingly and increasingly more tired and hurt.
Good.
But Dewey calls out, "All right, stay in that fight, Staryu. You're going to need to recover." Staryu heals 6 points of HP as a glistening sheen spills over its body. Your turn.
I think Steve's camera froze. But I will throw more wind at him. And it's a natural 19. Plus things. 23.
That hits.
And hey, max damage. So that I believe his con is just a 1, so that's only that's 13 points of fairy type damage.
Wow. Yeah, nearly sweeping the Staryu off of its appendages. It is still up, but you can see it supporting itself on a third now, and it seems to be breathing really heavily, and its gem in the center of its body is blinking. Blink, blink, blink,
I almost feel bad now.
Yeah, Dewey's gonna call out. We don't have a choice. Recover, heal yourself. And that's gonna be another 4 points. It will heal itself.
Says the guy totally cheesing this fight anyways.
Your turn.
The second verse, or more like 37th verse, same as the first. Throw more wind. Ooh, that's a 16 to hit.
16 hits.
Yeah. And another d12. That's 9 points of fairy type damage.
Okay. This time, the Staryu is swept off of its feet, and it lands hard in the sand. And its blinking gem goes out as it disappears inside the Pokeball.
That's the worst I
Leaving.
felt about making the Pokemon faint.
I was about to say nice when it happened, but then I was like, well,
It sounds so horrible.
I know.
Leaving one Pokemon left. Yeah. Dewey's gonna call for the Machop to run underneath your Hoppip. Your Hoppip being at 10, and it's gonna tell it to jump up and grapple your Hoppip.
Oh.
Jump up there! Grab it! Don't let it get away! And it's
I'm
gonna
totally building Riolu to do stuff like that.
it's gonna
so
attempt to grapple you.
Makes sense.
So
Okay.
make a contested either acrobatics or athletics check.
Neither one is the same. Oh, that's 6.
Oh, there was no getting away from this Machop. As it jumps up, its beefy arm grabs onto the side of the Hoppip, almost ready to dunk it. That is going to be a 19.
Yep.
The Hoppip, however, manages
How
to hold
high
it
up
in
was the
midair.
Hoppip?
It's 10 feet.
Okay.
It's sitting at 10 foot. So
Shit.
the Hoppip, or the Machop, standing leapt at 5.
Yeah.
And is holding on to it. That was its turn. So you are now grappled. So you cannot move, but you can do other things.
I can't move at all.
No, grapple drops the Pokemon speed to 0.
Oh.
Yeah, that's typical D&D.
Okay.
You can forego your move to attempt to break the grapple. I should say forego your action to attempt to break the grapple if you wanted to, or use a move or whatever you want.
Dandy, poison him. He's right there.
Fair point.
Just spilling this poisonous seed all over this Hoppip, who is like right on top of him. Oh no. Yeah, the Machop, who is right there, gets a face full of this stuff. It goes and immediately looks very unwell. He is poisoned with a 3.
Great. Hell yeah, and that's all I think I can do on my turn.
Okay.
I don't think he's got any bonus actions. No, he does not.
Okay. You know what? He's going to use Steadfast to ignore that.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, he's going to choose to pass that. So he shakes his head and he is no longer poisoned. Okay. Dewey calls out, "Excellent! You're doing well, you little guy. Hit it with a karate chop." And the Machop is going to try to karate chop your
Machop
Pokemon.
me.
Ooh, natural 19. So he did not focus energy this time around, though. So that's only going to be a...
Regular hit.
yeah, so that's... that's 25 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Your Hoppip is going to take... You're going to take 11 points of fighting type damage.
Reduced to 5. Because I'm a flying type.
Oh, never mind. Karate Chop scores a critical hit on 19s. So I'm going to double that
Oh.
dice.
Shit. Shit.
I knew there was a reason why I took that move. That's going to be
Shit.
plus another 4.
Plus another 4, so... what
Sorry,
was
plus
11
another
before?
8 because it was 2 d4s. Gotcha.
So how much is that total now?
4 for you, but that was 8 more points.
Wait. Oh, 4 extra. Yeah, I see what you're saying. So...
Yeah,
what was
because
that?
you're resistant.
So 26, so now 22. Okay. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he is still holding on to you.
Just poison him, Dandy.
Okay. Make another con save. Oh, failing that again. That's going to be a 10. He keeps getting a face full of this purple mist.
He just coughed directly in his face, that's all.
Pretty much. Got the COVID.
Oh, good God, Stephen.
The Rona. Dewey looks across the field. He says, That's a bit of a mean move. All right, Machop. That's all right. You've got guts. Hit it with another karate chop. You got it right in your sights. Don't let it go. Holding on with one hand, he goes for another karate chop. And because this Pokemon has the special ability Guts, when this Pokemon is burned or poisoned, they are not affected by the disadvantage or half damage effects.
Oh, shit.
So he's not disadvantaged, but he will take damage still at the end of his turn.
Yeah.
So, that is going to be, that's a natural 18.
Yep,
So
that
that'll
hits.
be a 24. And that is only going to be 7 points of fighting type damage.
2, 3.
As he is hacking at your flying dandelion Pokemon. And then he's going to take 3 points of damage. Your turn.
So when you're grappled, do you have disadvantage on attack rolls?
Nope, that's restrained.
Perfect. Then Dandy, boop him with a tackle.
Okay. Pulls away just enough to be able to get a tackle right into the Machop's face.
Which is a 19.
19 hits.
Or sorry, a 21 with proficiency? No, 22 with proficiency. Still hits.
Still hits.
1d10. And that will be 3 points of normal type damage.
Yeah, the Machop takes it right in the face. He kind of rubs his snoot.
I booped him.
The Machop's just going to keep karate chopping you. This one is going to be a 21.
21? Yep, that hits. Oh, Steve froze again. Weird.
Weird. You're going to take 10 points of fighting type damage this time.
Reduced
Crack!
to 5.
Crack! Crack! These two Pokemon tussle midair.
Okay, Dandy, it's probably time that you should heal yourself. Use synthesis.
That's right.
And oh my god, that's 3 6s and a 2. So 22 points of healing that literally gets him back up to full health.
Wow. Yeah, as he sits there,
God.
he just looks fresh and replenished again. He shakes his little tail and does a little dance midair, ready to go all day fighting this Machop.
Oh.
Okay, the Machop is still hanging on though, and he's going in for another karate chop. Really banking on that natural 19 again. Nope, but he does get a natural 20.
Jesus.
Yeah, I like this.
It'll be halved. It's fine.
That's 21 points of fighting type damage. As this time just
10.
right in the center of its dandelion shoots.
Dandy, boop it again. And another tackle. Oh, that's only a 9.
9 does not hit. Yeah, the Machop manages to swing away as the Hoppip tries to make contact. Going in for another karate chop. He's going to hack you out of the sky.
It's going to try. So we have 2 syntheses left.
That's a 19 not natural.
Yep.
Sorry, that's going to be 14 points. Rolled really good that time.
Reduce to 7.
Your turn.
Perfect. He's still been taking the poison damage, right?
He absolutely has.
Perfect. Dandy, do the healing thing again. And another synthesis.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
And, okay, that's not as good, but 2 5s, a 3 and a 2, 15 plus 2 is 17, which again gets him back up to full health.
Jesus.
Holy smokes. You will note the Machop is looking worse and worse as time goes on. He's looking a bit more sickly as he's coughing up there. And Dewey says, hang on, little guy. Just keep going. We can win this.
Oh, I love that 46 heal. That's ridiculous.
That's going to be a natural 18, so that's a 24 again.
Yep, he hits.
Okay. That's going to be 9 points of fighting type damage.
Reduce to 4. All right, Dandy, give him another boop. Boop on his snoot with another tackle. Oh, that's only a 2.
2 does not hit.
Or a 5, sorry, because he still adds his proficiency.
No,
I need to put the friggin'
5 does
No.
not hit. Okay. Machop's going to go in for another karate chop. That's not nearly as good. That's going to be a 12.
doesn't hit.
12 doesn't
The
hit.
first one.
Yeah, swinging around uncontrollably at this point. The Machop fails to land this blow. Your turn.
Boop. Oh, that's a 9.
9 does not hit. Between these
He's
two
not very
Pokemon
good at the
swinging
tackling.
around midair, there are blows being exchanged. The Machop is looking steadily worse and worse. That's going to be another natural 20.
Yep.
That is going to be
Do it.
16 points of fighting type damage.
16 points reduced to 8.
Lands another solid one. Your turn.
Boop. Boop. Legolas. Shoot him. Oh, that's better. That's 19.
That hits.
Come on. And that's 3 points of normal type damage.
Okay.
Reduced to 1 probably, because I think it's resistant.
Nope.
Oh.
No, he just takes it straight. And he
Oh,
kind of
yeah,
grins
yeah,
and
that's
bears
right.
it. Okay. Chop's gonna go in for another karate chop. That's 11.
No, that doesn't hit.
11 misses. Swinging again. Whoosh. Catches air.
Just keep booping. And that's a 12.
12 hits. That's its
thank
AC.
God. And 4 points of normal type damage.
Okay. At this point in time, the Machop is looking really rough. It's struggling to hold on midair with its one arm. It's dangling there. Its little tail lashing out behind it. It's actually starting to turn a slight color of pink-purple. Going in for another karate chop. That's going to be a 7.
Doesn't hit.
No, it doesn't.
And boop it. Boop it on the snoot. And that's a 13.
13 hits. Absolutely.
And that's 3 points of normal type damage.
Okay.
Keep rolling below average for these.
Dewey's looking really concerned as he looks up at his Pokemon, taking blow after blow after blow. And he says, Machop, I don't know if you have much in you. Do you want to keep going? Are you okay, little buddy? And the Machop turns around and looks at him and nods and coughs weakly.
Someone's
says,
stubborn.
Okay, a karate chop then. The Machop. It's going to be a 19, not natural.
Yep. Nope, that's Sunker.
That'll be 11 points of fighting type damage.
10. No, not reduced to 10, reduced to 5.
Your turn.
I'm gonna be a dick and use synthesis again for the last time.
Okay.
Let's see if I can roll 17 or higher and get back up to full health.
So silly.
So that's, hang on, that's 11, 14, 15, 17 with the constitution, and he's back up to full health again.
Nice. The Machop is going to swing weakly for one last karate chop. That's going to be a 21.
Yeah, he hits.
You take 9 points of fighting type damage before the Machop starts to choke and fall towards the ground, landing softly in the sand, and then is recalled into its Pokeball. And that is all of Dewey's Pokemon. He starts clapping.
Hey,
He says,
I'll start clapping too.
"Well done, sir. Well done. That was quite the sporting event."
That was the closest to any fight I think I've been in has gone so far.
Oh, you're too kind, sir. I'm sorry for doing such damage to your Pokemon. That was very unkind of me. I might have been a bit rough on you.
Oh no, it's fine. Don't worry about it. This is the point of it, the battles, right? Other than getting them all trained up and making a little bit of money, right?
Yes, I suppose
It's
so.
all par for the course.
I hope you took some good experience from that. And I suppose I owe you some money. I'm sorry. How forgetful of me. Here. He starts digging through his wallet.
I'm glad I won that because I only had 60 Pokebucks left. I didn't want the world to know how broke Jackson was.
Okay. Yeah, he pulls out 310 Pokebucks, and he hands it to you.
Sweet.
And he says, "Well won, well won. You're an
Well-
excellent trainer."
You are as well. That's the most scared I've been in a long time.
Oh, you flatter me. That's too kind, too much, sir. Too much. Oh,
I will reach out a hand to shake his.
and he tentatively reaches one out, and he says, "Oh, yes. Well, thank you very much. Thank you."
No, thank you. That was a very fun battle. I hope that we might get to do this again sometime when our Pokemon are more experienced.
That would be nice. I don't get the opportunity to train quite as much as yourself or the young miss or young Indigo, but maybe I'll look for an opportunity now and again. You know, that was fun. I was never much of a trainer, but that was fun.
Glad to hear it. You shouldn't have to spend all of your time looking after Indigo.
Well, that's that's my job. But it's all right. I care very much for him, as much as he is a bit of a rapscallion. I do care for him. I do. And,
Yeah, I can tell you do dote on him.
well, it was his parents' last wish, so
Oh, his parents passed.
yes. Rather recently, a couple months back, actually. It was
Oh,
quite
wow.
tragic.
So sorry to hear it.
Yes, a great loss indeed. But I'm sorry to burden you with such thoughts. That it's not your concern.
No,
I apologize.
I would much rather know than not know, especially given his demeanor and
So would Brook.
given his demeanor and how he's been treating my friend. It doesn't necessarily excuse it, but it at least gives a little bit of insight into why it's happening.
He looks down and looks away and says, "Oh, I don't know if I would say it excuses it or explains it, but I mean, he does have a good heart, and I know he was looking to accomplish something from this Pokemon journey. You know, his parents would have never allowed it. It's kind of his last bit of defiance to go on this. And perhaps he's, I don't know, a bit of braggadocio, a bit of, he works himself up. I'm sorry, I'm not good at making excuses for him.
No, it's fine.
You're very understanding. I appreciate that, more so than you need to be. Thank you, I'm sorry.
No need to apologize. He has a lot to cope with, and I hope that he does well in that regard. And I hope that one day he does become a successful Pokemon trainer.
Nico smiles and nods. Says, I do hope so too. It would be a joy to see. It will be a joy to see. Absolutely. The young master will
There
do
you go.
great things.
That's the right attitude.
I suppose we should probably away to the Pokemon Center.
Yes, that would probably be best.
Yes. Excellent. After you, sir.
Oh, thank you. I'll start leading the way.
Okay. Brook.
I look to the Pokemon Center.
You do.
You're still frozen, Steve.
Oh, he froze again. I fixed him.
I don't know why he keeps
Well.
freezing.
Well, technically, there's a 10% chance of me unfreezing every turn, but it
Oh,
could
God.
technically go on indefinitely. Just statistically unlikely.
Yeah, he fixed. I walk in. Is Indigo still there? What is he doing?
Indigo is sitting on the bench, and he's sort of looking around. He looks back towards where the medical counter is, and Joy is busy behind doing whatever she is up to, and he looks over and he sees you walking in, and his feet stop kicking, and he looks away and down really quickly.
Hi, Nurse Joy.
Nurse Joy waves at you and says, "Welcome back.
Liam,
Welcome."
would you mind taking these to Nurse Joy and go get yourself fixed up, please?
He takes your Pokeballs and He looks back at Indigo.
Sorry, I'm sending Liam. They need healing. Nurse Joy.
The nurse smiles and she sends her Chansey out with a metal tray, and the Chansey collects the Pokeballs from Liam, and then Liam himself, and ferries them away to the back. Liam takes one last look at you as he
Bye, bud. See you
exits through
soon.
the back door.
Now I look over at Indigo.
Indigo says, "Coming to gloat?"
No, coming to have a heart-to-heart.
I don't know what you mean.
All the more reason we should maybe have one.
Looks up at you.
And
He
I
says-
come and sit next to him.
Says, "Was it that good? You couldn't stay away from me any longer?"
I'm gonna pretend that you didn't say that, because I want this to be a good conversation, not a shitty one.
This is the best conversation.
First off,
He waggles his eyebrows at you.
do you know where this flower came from?
This, that weed? No.
You didn't put this in my pocket.
No. A single rose? I
Is he full of shit?
would have bought you a whole bouquet.
Is he full of shit?
Give me an insight check.
That's a 6.
This kid really, like, talks himself up to the point where you're having a hard time knowing what is just him bragging or him using hyperbole or whatever versus what he's actually done.
Cool, it's a weed then. And then I put it in my bag. I'm not here to gloat. I'm not here to have any kind of half shitty, awkward conversation with you hitting on me.
Oh, I'm not awkward. It's fine.
You're pretty awkward.
I don't think so.
Okay. First off, what I did wasn't okay.
Sort of narrows his eyes.
I exploited you and your need for a kiss to get money out of you. Because I needed it. And it was wrong. And not something I would normally do.
Narrows his eyes. He says, "I don't see the problem."
The problem is someone so desperate for a kiss to wage a Pokemon battle on it?
Me desperate?
Clearly,
I am not desperate. I could get a kiss from any girl I wanted. I can step out of a Pokemon gym and the girls are all over me. I don't need to pay somebody for a kiss.
here's the thing. You're what, 10?
Yeah.
You have a lot of growing up to do.
I do.
Yep.
Just imagine this, but 18.
I'm good, thanks. If you truly want to have a positive relationship with anyone, the attitude should probably change. And I know I'm probably speaking to dead air.
Just kind of scowls at you and he says, "Where do you get off talking to me like that?"
But I could probably say the same thing to you about the way you have talked to me.
I don't know what you're talking about. I've treated you with nothing but respect. We had a cordial introduction. I made a wager. I followed through on my end. Our relationship has been nothing but friendly. Friendlier than almost anybody I have met during my time here. You know what? You're sounding a lot like my mother right now, and I do not appreciate that. Nurse Joy, are my Pokemon ready? Nurse Joy, I'd like to leave. It has already been 15 minutes.
So what you're telling me is your mother wouldn't approve of you treating women like this.
What I'm saying is you're sounding like my mother. And I don't appreciate that.
How would your father feel about you treating women like this?
Don't talk about my father.
Why are there daddy issues?
Scoffs and he says, "Nurse Joy, Nurse Joy. My Pokemon, please. Nurse Joy slowly comes out. She says, I'm sorry. It'll be a couple more minutes still. You have to understand, we're fairly busy right now. And he says, I come here and I expect service, and it is not being given. I have waited here.
Listen to how you're talking to her. Is this how you talk to everyone?
Says, she is a nurse in service to myself, and you should be expecting better service. Your Pokemon should already be back here. I'm not talking to you anymore.
Do you see
Nurse Joy, Nurse Joy.
How many people do you see in here with Nurse Joy on a regular?
He shrugs. He says, it's none of my concern. I do my job. She does her job. Nurse Joy,
hey,
my
Nurse
Pokemon.
Joy, why don't you take a break for a second?
Roll persuasion.
Oh god.
That's a 4.
Nurse Joy kind of says, "No, I'm good. You know what? Your Pokemon are probably close to. Let me get them prepared."
But
for
your
you.
feet must hurt, right?
Always. And she dips back into the back room.
That woman probably runs her ass off every day without a break.
Indigo crosses his arms and he just.
And you're treating her like
taps
that.
His foot. Looks away. It's your job. Can't be helped.
It can, because you can show people a little bit more respect. You know, if I had met you outside of that Pokemon gym, and you had been a kind, polite 10-year-old boy, I might actually be willing to be your friend.
Looks back at you and he says,
But instead, I'm here having a frustrated conversation with you because I don't like how things have gone.
I don't need friends. I don't think you understand. Frankly, I'm a little embarrassed for you. You clearly don't know who I am. And he steps up to the counter as Nurse Joy comes out with a tray of Pokeballs and he starts collecting
Right,
them.
because I'm from Brava. Where are you from? Wundoro?
Doesn't turn around. He's just collecting his Pokeballs and putting them in his
Indigo.
pockets.
I am also from a very proud, well-to-do family. And I don't parade around with a stick up my ass. I'm trying to help you. Because I want to see you have friends and I want to see you grow up to be a responsible young man. Because your handler, Dewey, who seems like a really nice guy,
Yes,
doesn't
Dewey.
seem to invest enough time.
Where is he, Dewey? Where did you go? Look, it's
and
been...
your parents are clearly doing nothing about your attitude.
It has been nice. I appreciate the Pokemon battle. You are a fantastic Pokemon trainer, and I don't say that lightly. But our transaction is over. Dewey, and he walks out of the Pokemon
I'm
Center.
gonna step in front of him
Okay.
and I'm gonna give him a hug.
Okay. He just kind of stops dead as you hug him, largely unsure of what to do.
Whatever reason you have for being this angry at the world and shitty, for whatever reason, I think you needed this.
As you say that, he kind of pushes you off, and you can see he's crying a little bit. Just,
Someone doesn't wager a Pokemon battle on a kiss unless they need some type of companionship, forced or not.
I don't need this. I don't need you. Leave me alone. I'm leaving. And he continues to walk out the door.
I hope that next time we meet, it'll be under better terms.
Yeah. Next time I'll win.
No. Maybe next time you'll say, it's nice to see you, Brook. And I'll say, I'm glad to see you've matured, Indigo.
Stops and turns to look at you as the sliding doors close.
Can't win them all. Hopefully it doesn't grow up to be some misogynistic shit and... Nurse Joy, do you need a coffee?
Nurse Joy leans across the counter and she says, "Yes, I could always use a coffee, dear."
I hope people don't talk to you that way often.
More often than you would know.
You deserve better for what you do.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
If my Pokemon are done before I get back, just have Liam wait for me with them. I'll be back.
Of course. Of course. Anything you need.
Go buy Nurse Joy some flowers and a coffee.
Okay. So, you leave and you walk out the door. And as you do so, you head over to what is essentially this small coffee shop. You pick up a coffee. It's only 10 Pokebucks. You head over to a flower stall. And as you approach, the woman who is standing behind it sees you, and she steps out in front and she says, "Oh no, coming back for another one? Absolutely not. Not until you've paid for the first."
Another one of what?
They like that. The white rose you stole from me earlier.
I didn't steal a rose. From
I
you.
saw your Pokemon. Pick that Pokemon, or pick that flower out of my bin over there. Can't you tell the pristine
Sorry,
plucking trimming?
was it a Ryulu?
Dumb with me. It was a small, three-legged, red. I don't know how to. It took the flower and it ran off, and it ran over to you
A
having your battle
three-legged
over there.
Pokemon? And it was red?
Was it
Red
Ginger?
of source? Yes.
Was it
Are
a
you going to pay me
Chimchar?
for that flower or not?
Was it a Chimchar?
I don't know what that is.
Is there like a big, is there like a bundle of like daisies or some like not high expensive flower?
Yeah, there's a few different flowers, daisies and carnations and those sort of things.
I will buy a simple bouquet.
Okay.
And I will also pay for her the rose.
Okay. So the rose itself is 20 Pokebucks.
Okay.
For a bouquet, you're looking at. There's the simplest of which is made up of only a few different flowers that have been dyed a couple different colors, is 30 Pokebucks.
Can't math. I'm sorry, and you wouldn't believe me if I told you, but it was a wild Pokemon.
She takes the money and she says, "Don't make this a habit."
I swear to God, it wasn't me.
Mhm.
And then I turn around and run away.
Nice doing
Back
business
to the
with you.
Pokemon Center.
Jackson, as you are entering the Poke Center with Dewey by your side, you note Brook coming in from behind you.
Oh, Brooke, how are you?
I gotta give this to Nurse Joy, and I know who gave me the rose, I think, and I gotta go find them.
Okay.
I think it was the Chimchar.
Oh.
Apparently, he stole a rose, and I had to pay for it. But it's okay.
Little rapscallion, apparently.
Nurse Joy?
Comes back out from the back, taking off a pair of gloves. Oh, my coffee! I can smell it from here. Please, bring it here and put it on the desk.
And I'm sorry that you have to deal with so many disrespectful and just generally inconsiderate Pokemon trainers on a regular.
Trainers like you that make it all the worthwhile.
These are for you.
She takes the bouquet and she says, "Why,
You don't have to thank me. Without you, there'd be a lot of Pokemon, both with trainers and without, that would be in a difficult place. And you don't
Miles."
deserve to be talked to like that, so I want to make sure that this is a reminder that you do good work.
She smiles and she cradles the flowers close to her and she says, and something to put it in. I'll put it in the recovery room for some of the recovering Pokemon to see. And your Pokemon will be out shortly.
Okay.
Thank you. And she hurries off to the back. Jackson and Dewar, you were left waiting a few minutes before she finally comes back. Again, removing gloves, and she comes up to the desk and she says, "Hi, can I help you?"
Yes, I just need these Pokemon looked after, and I'll drop off all my Pokemon, I guess. Yeah, they're all hurt a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, she motions to her Pokemon to come around the edge of the counter. Earlier I said it was a Chansey. It's definitely a Wigglytuff. The Wigglytuff comes around the edge of the counter with a metal tray, takes your Pokemon, and then hurries off to the back. Also collecting Deweys on the way. And it bows to the both of you and disappears.
Did you guys run into Indigo?
Oh, the young master, no. Did you manage to find him?
Yeah. I don't think he appreciated my conversation, and it didn't go the way I would have liked because he didn't want to hear it.
I apologize if he said anything that was unbecoming of a man such as himself. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for anything he might have said. Do you know where he might have wandered off to?
He ran out the door.
See. So I'll have to find him somewhere. Great. All right.
For what it's worth, Dewey, I don't want to say you're with him every day, and I don't want to say you're not trying, but keep trying.
I don't think I could stop if I wanted to.
Just, I think the kid maybe needs some tough love. Maybe to someone just to be brutally honest with him more.
He smiles and he says, I will try. He's very fond of him.
I think he could be a good kid if he wanted to be. But entitlement and whatever isn't a reason to behave the way.
Smiles. Very good, young miss. Those are very fair points.
And tell him if he cares to understand that not everybody that comes from entitlement is like him. Tell him to look into the Brava region.
I will.
Tell him my last name's Sawyer.
All right.
He seems to think everybody should know who he is. And maybe I'll figure out where he came from. But he should probably look into other people too. Before he starts judging.
You know, you're very unlike any of the other women who Indigo tends to interact with. Not the pageant queen type or far from a groupie. I think you could stand to be a good influence on him likewise. And I do hope that we are, nods over at Jackson, paths cross again, however that may look.
I do as well.
Yeah. Hopefully, he shows some personal growth. Everybody can stand to have them.
Smiles.
And I don't feel right about how I got this, so tell him he can have it back. And I give him back 400 Pokebucks.
He puts up his hands and he says, he deserves to have lost that. It's the least. No, you keep that.
Okay.
You guys wait out the next couple of minutes as Nurse Joy finishes with each of your Pokemon, bringing them back. First Brooks and then the other two. As Dewey gets his back, he hurriedly moves towards the door, stops, and turns back to the two of you and he says, I am terribly sorry to have to run off like this, but young master is surely up to no good, and I must find him as quickly as possible.
Fair enough.
We understand. Hope you have a good day, Dewey.
And the best to the both of you. Sorry again for all the inconveniences, and goodbye. Nods and
I missed the perfect opportunity to make Jackson have a Alzheimer's moment and forget his name and say Chewy instead. It's even May 4th.
This is probably a good time to take a quick intermission break.
I hate that you keep putting Chimchar in front of my face.
And he's still gonna get away.
I know. Oh.
Ugh.
Oh.
I agree.
Oh.
Oh. That's right, I should download that. That their AB Trace Together app that they came out with recently.
What is this? What say you?
It is an app. The province just released an app that helps you figure out, like, it's like a COVID-19 contact tracing app.
Interesting.
So if it like uses Bluetooth to go, oh, okay, you've been in these areas and these areas and these areas, and then it'll send an alert to your phone if somebody who goes and tests COVID positive and updates their app saying so has been in that area or store or whatever.
That's interesting.
So you know to go and get yourself tested.
That is kind of cool. Huh.
I actually got a call about it earlier today.
You got a call about it?
Yeah, well, they were doing surveys.
Oh.
So I just got the call and I was like, yeah, this is the one survey that I'm not just going to skip out on because I feel like having more information regarding this is going to be better. So
yeah.
Sure, I'll set 5 minutes of my time aside.
Was it like a one question? Do you have COVID, sir? No? Thank you for your time. We appreciate it.
No, it was a lot of like, are you like satisfied with what the provincial government has been doing in regards to COVID-19? Are you, do you think that all of these restrictions are being lifted too soon and blah, blah, blah?
Oh, interesting.
Yes. Yes, they are.
Oh, yeah. Like golf courses, I can understand because you're almost never going to be within 6 feet of another golfer.
Yeah, but you know that the type of people who are
Going out with their
like
buddies.
really looking for the golf courses are the guys who are spending time in the country club and stuff like that too.
Yeah,
And
but I don't have the country clubs open.
I would be surprised if guys are running around on golf carts and whatnot on the field and they don't have some sort of country club or shady spot to go back to.
No, they're specifically avoiding that. They're going to do it where it's online bookings.
Really?
For golf courses. Then you book online and you just come in and give them like a reservation code or whatever, and then they'll go, okay, you get this cart.
Are you
Make sure
able
let us know
to
when you bring
book
back
it
so we can sanitize it?
for
Wow.
with like other people though?
I think you can book it with like, I think you can book it with other people, but it's also, you're only ever going to be going with a group of like 2 or 3 people. And you're probably only going to be going with people that you know have been isolating, at least
Sure.
the people who are responsible about it.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd hope.
And I wonder if they're gonna actually. Let's see. We can Google this thing.
Yeah, not that I'm much of a golfer, but yeah,
courses.
color me a bit skeptical.
My
I
massage
guess, but
therapist
yeah, fair
emailed
enough.
me today and said that they have that they're opening, that they're reopening due to the lifts. And I'm not against places like doctor's office and chiropractors and stuff opening up because there are legitimately people that regularly need to see chiropractors or massage just to be able to function in their life. So
Yeah.
that doesn't bother me that those are opening. But my massage therapist they're doing
Your masseuse.
only online booking, and you have to answer a like screening questionnaire before you're allowed to like have an appointment confirmed.
Mhm.
And they're
Yeah,
asking
which
people to
makes
be honest.
Sense, but Yeah, that's one of the things is when you have to deal with people being honest, it's a little less
Yeah.
cut and dry because a lot of people are still not very smart.
Yeah.
In this.
I mean, based on the email, I can imagine that if you showed up and you looked like or were presenting any concerning things, like if I walked in on a particularly bad allergy day, I feel like they would be like, I'm sorry, Melissa, you need to reschedule.
Yeah.
And then like sanitize everything.
Yeah. So let's see. So it looks like for golf courses, they opened on Saturday. There's 9 that haven't reopened in Alberta so far because they didn't have a lot of notice.
Yeah.
And seven in Calgary on its own didn't. Okay, so it's only 7 in Calgary didn't open. A few others did. Every time we book, you could probably have about 10 times over this weekend. Blah blah blah. What are they doing differently? Front gates are being monitored, only allowing players with bookings 15 minutes before their first shot. Yeah, it seems like it's just going to be a lot of cleaning and restricting how big the groups that can go are.
My biggest
Which is as smart as they can do it, really.
Yeah. My biggest concern is that if they open things up too early, like I don't think that we're in a position where we should be opening yet. And I understand that you do eventually need to start reopening stuff because of a number of reasons. Like, one, it's things can't stay this way forever. And 2, like,
yeah,
it is going to help if you just keep everything on lockdown. You don't know how things are going to kind of respond when you start reopening things. So you do have to start reopening eventually, slowly, with like planned procedures so that you can understand how to respond going forward. I also just am worried that by opening it right now, that you run the risk of the second outbreak being really, really, really bad, like the second wave, and it also falling. Like, everybody keeps saying that, like, a second wave will come fall, and that is a huge concern of me.
I think it'll probably be worse.
Yeah.
Is what most of the people are saying as well. It'll be kind of like the Spanish flu.
Yeah.
In that regard.
I'm just, like, really concerned that if they do it too early, that they will just end up having lockdowns have to continue into September, and then won't have reopening strategies in areas that I feel like should be looking at potentially reopening. Because I think kids should not. I think that there should be procedures in place to entertain, not necessarily do it, but entertain children going back to school in September.
Yeah.
Because I know that a lot of kids' educations are struggling because of this, and if they are out for a large part of next school year too, I'm worried about the impact that it'll have on all these kids and their learning.
Yeah.
Because it is really a struggle right now. Every person I've talked to.
That was the one thing in the survey where I was like, yeah, I could want that to open up relatively soon, was when they were asked about daycares and schools.
Yeah.
Everything else I was like, it seems a bit hasty. The golf courses, that's one thing, but you didn't ask specifically about that, but like bars and pubs and shit reopening, even if they are going to be mandated to have to maintain social distancing and keeping people 6 feet apart, how are you going to do that?
Yeah,
I
that
feel
seems like a
like-
recipe for disaster.
I feel like
How can you
daycares.
enforce hundreds of people?
I feel like daycares should be looking. They should be looking at reopening childcare come like the summer for like summer camp type things. But I'm honestly, at the same time, I'm like, even then, like, childcare and education could be out until September, and you could take the time to have a really well thought out plan of how you're going to handle kids returning to school in September, because I do think that is important. Because every person I know that has kids right now is like, oh my god, I am like failing my child. I am such a shitty teacher. Like, they are not learning a damn thing. And I feel like parents should take this time to kind of teach their kids life skills, but at the same time, like, you can't go an entire like 12 months of your kids not having an appropriate education and it not impact them going forward.
Yeah.
Like, are they going to hold back an entire generation worth of kids a year because none of them learned a damn thing and aren't ready for the next school year?
Or are they going to figure out how to homeschool more effectively?
Yeah. Like, I was talking to Steven and saying, like, well, personally, the whole homeschooling thing really scares the shit out of me, and that's mostly because I don't currently trust our government as far as I could throw them, and I don't need an excuse for homeschooling to be like, look at how effective homeschool is, and now we can justify teacher cutbacks.
Yeah, I suppose.
Because, yeah. But I was talking to Steven and saying, like, they should look into, like, 50% or less of the school attending classes certain days of the week, so they're at home sometimes and at school sometimes. But in order to do that, it's a challenging system to look at.
Yeah.
And with them
Yeah,
talking
it's
about, like, reopening at 50% capacity for childcare, like, one of my friends was like, do you think that your company will open? And I was like, I honestly don't know, because it depends on what 50% looks like. Like, my capacity at my building is 90 something. So is it 50% of my capacity, meaning I could take 40 something kids back? Or is it 50% of my current enrollment? Because how do you turn away your families that have been paying you? How do you prioritize that?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
like,
it's a whole big old complicated mess
totally.
that nobody was really actually prepared for.
Nope. Not at all.
Oh, and there's so many people too that just took it, not necessarily didn't take it as seriously as they should have.
I
but
think that's a
just
fair
thought
comment
that-
too.
No, there's a lot of people that I feel haven't.
There's a lot of people, there's a lot of people that have, but what I'm more
Yeah.
getting at is there's a lot of people who thought, like, oh, we live in, like, a technological age where we can cure a bunch of shit, and we have all these antibiotics and all these things that help us with viral infections and blah, blah, blah. So when they were looking at, like, potential for a new pandemic, it gets a little less... People take it a little less seriously than I guess they should have.
Sure.
Just
Yeah.
because they assume, oh, well, we have, like, modern technology. And it's like, no, it's still a virus. And we're
There
still
are
fucking susceptible to that shit.
Parts of me that kind of, like, have a moment of, like, huh, and kind of laugh when I maybe shouldn't, about shit like Donald Trump spewing bullshit about how no one could have seen this coming, and then it, like, being almost memed, where it's like a year or two before he was president, Obama was talking about how they need to support the healthcare system because eventually one day there will be a global pandemic and our systems should be prepared to handle that.
Yeah,
And,
well, not to mention that Obama was very, very on the cutting edge of that shit, because he even sent a couple of specialists specifically to China to work in Wuhan
Yeah.
to
And I'm
help avoid something like this from happening. And then one of the first things Trump did when he got in was be like, oh, we need those guys back here.
I know, and that, like, those things make me kind of roll my eyes and, like, kind of snicker inside, because I'm like, yeah, Trump, no one could have saw it coming except the president before you.
Yeah, and Bill Gates, who talked about it, what, like
Yeah.
7 years ago in a TED Talk?
Exactly. Like, it makes sense. It just makes sense. We're a
Yeah.
whole bunch of people living in a planet full of disease and other things.
Yeah, and there's plenty of diseases we have no fucking clue how to cure. Like rabies is still fatal 100% of the time.
Yeah. There's a lot of shit that we just don't understand.
And yeah, and shit like rabies has been around forever.
Rabies is treatable up to it's in 3 stages.
Yes,
and
it's
treatable within the first,
but it's
I
not
believe.
cured. Like, if you wait too long, they can't fix it.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
It's treatable, but they can't just be like, wave a magic wand and be like, ba-doom, you're done, if you wait too long, right? Like,
Yeah.
Okay, so
People
how we
be
feeling?
dumb. People be dumb.
I should actually go take a washroom break because
Yeah.
I did not do that.
Yeah.
We were too busy
I was too
bitching
busy.
about
Too
politics and
excitable.
COVID-19.
All right, I'll be right back.
Okay. Mr. Producer Kitty is sitting over there, so nice.
Today.
What do you mean today? Always.
Not always.
Look at him. He's adorable.
No, he had his claws in my curtain.
He's such a sweetie.
No, he had his claws in my curtain today. And he threw up on the floor, like, with cat's bite, I've decided.
With cat spite.
Yeah, well, it was for,
He's
it
looking
was
at me
for
like,
no
no.
reason. It just happened. Twice. And I sat there going, ah! Because every time I have to clean up cat vomit, I feel like I'm gonna vomit. That's your job. And then Salve was like all snuggles today, as per usual.
As per usual.
Yeah.
Until I got home, apparently.
It's because he spends all day snuggling me. And then you get home and he's like, hey, I got an energy. Yeah.
It's okay. He'll be tuckered out by bedtime. He's already tuckered out.
Yeah.
I think he's already in the bed.
I was so unproductive today, but I finished Life is Strange 2. And tomorrow I have to plan D&D. Because I got no choice but to do it. And I don't have any idea what I'm going to.
It's okay.
I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
I also don't know how the maps work. So everything's going to be theater of the mind for a while.
Sure, I can show you sometime. I do occasionally make maps for our games, so occasionally.
I'm back.
Hey, all right. We all good to go?
Yeah.
All right.
I switchy screen.
Let's get this party started.
So Jackson, are you down for helping me hunt down my friend?
Oh, hell yes, I am.
Have you ever heard of a Pokemon doing something like that?
I mean, I hadn't heard of that, but we do also have a Pokemon in our party who did traps for people. So, I don't think it's that far-fetched.
I will never tell him or her. I will never tell them that I paid for the rose. So, Pokemon, Pokemart first then, I suppose.
Sure.
We could probably both use some things.
Yeah, we probably could. I didn't
Pokemon.
get too much from that fight, but...
I
Have
mean,
enough
I have one Pokeball.
How many Pokeballs did I get?
And I used
3.
all of my potions in the fight against Indigo.
I didn't have to use any, but he did get Billy.
Oh.
He got Billy.
And Angus. Oh, speaking of, before we leave the Pokemon Center, I'm going to swap Herp and Dandy for Belle and Maui.
Oh, okay. That's something I gotta do. So Dandy and Perp, you wanna move?
Oh, Maui.
For Maui and Belle.
He's getting
And
those
I'll
breeding
pop
bonding
Maui back
moments
out.
then.
Maui pops out next to you and grumbles a little bit.
Liam, I think you look stronger.
He looks at you surprised and
I
he
know.
looks at his arm.
You did good in
Did
that
you
fight.
get a little swole? Is that a term people still use?
Maybe.
I'm trying to be hip and happening. Which are probably two phrases that aren't used.
Sure, some people say it.
Yeah, maybe some.
Liam, you were out when we sat down and we're talking to Indigo's buddy. I already forgot his name. Dewey? Whatever. Anyway,
Wait,
did you see a Pokemon put a flower in my pocket?
He shakes his head.
I think it might have
He's a
been the Chimchar.
Chimchars are
That he was
freaking neat.
red. The lady at the flower shop got mad at me because she said that I stole it or my Pokemon did, but you didn't steal it. No, you wouldn't do that. And she said it was red and it had 3 legs. And the Chimchar has 1 injured leg, so he probably maybe looked like he had 3 legs.
You can see Ryolu thinking about that, and then you can see him picturing the 3-legged race that you just had and trying to like connect the dots.
So I think he might have been following us ever since the Houndoom situation. So I need you to help me keep an eye out. Yeah.
He nods vigorously.
Head to the Pokemon. And I'm gonna keep an eye out for the Chimchar I believe is following us.
Okay.
And I'll keep an eye out for it too now.
Okay. Can I get both of you to roll perception? Get Ryolu to roll perception too.
Oh.
The 10 for me.
Mm-hmm.
That's a. Let me double check on what my plus is.
Try
Okay. So that's a 3.
Natural 20 for Ryulu.
Wow.
Nice.
Nice. So it's just a 20. He has no modifier.
Okay. Sorry, Jackson, you said a what?
3.
3. As you guys leave the Pokemon Center and are walking down the street, you're keeping your eyes peeled. At this point in time, tents are coming down. You can see that the Ferris wheel has largely been deconstructed. The crowds are all but gone, and Haventown is progressing back to what it once was, this sleepy, small little town.
Almost kind of sad when things come down after a big event.
A little bit. It makes it feel a little less lively.
Yeah, like empty.
Yeah, I suppose. I wonder how many people came here specifically for the fair.
Yeah.
As you guys are talking, you feel a tug on your hand, and Ryolu is immediately like, whoa, 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 and he's trying to tug you forward.
You see him? You hear him. You hear him. Okay.
And he starts like pulling you forward.
Okay, I'm just gonna run. I have 1 Pokeball.
Okay. Yeah, he starts running.
I can get Pokeballs later. Can't waste the natural 20.
Jackson, what are you doing?
I'm chasing after.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell Brook, turn around. I'm going to toss her one of my Pokeballs.
Oh, thanks. Just in case. I'll give it back if I don't need it.
For sure.
You guys continue running down the street, passing by a couple people. A pair of men are carrying this large crate, and you nearly knock them over as you come flying by. And then you start hearing, "Ooh, ooh, 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 ooh."
From where? From where? From where?
Coming from this tent directly in front of you. A number of them are being
tent?
deconstructed around you, but there's a tent directly in front of you.
Chimchar? Is that you?
Ryolu is pointing towards the tent.
Okay, I'm gonna run in the tent. I
Okay,
don't
you
fucking
run
care.
into the tent and you see these 2 men standing around a bunch of other various crates and stuff. Some are thrown over with tarps and various linens, just things that have been torn down, machine parts and whatnot. But on top of one of the crates is a steel cage, kind of like a small dog kennel.
Yeah.
And inside is this little fiery ape-like Pokemon with a very dim flame coming out its rear end. It is cradling itself, and its one leg, as expected, is a little gammy, a little...
Are there people around?
There are 2 men inside this cage. One of the men is...
Inside the cage.
Sorry, 2 men inside this tent. One of them is a larger man with this big beard, and he's poking his big sausage-like finger through the cage.
Stop
and another
poking
one,
it! What the hell?
The other one is wearing overalls, is a very thin man with a very scraggly beard. And he goes, "Well, hell, what are you doing in here? This is employee property. You can't be in here. Shoo, get on. Get out of here."
I want that Chimchar.
The big man turns over and says, "Well, it's ours now. We caught this one fair and square."
What do you want for it? I'll fight you. I'll pay you. What do you want?
2 of them look at each other and they say, "We're not Pokemon trainers."
Then what the hell are you?
Well, we're mechanics. We're carnival folk. Can't you see that?
Then what the hell do you want with the Chimchar?
The other one looks at you and he says,
Doesn't he look like he'd make a good juggler? People would pay a lot of money to come see a three-legged freak juggle some balls, huh?
All
We'll
the more
make some
reason
pretty
he should
coin
not
off
be
this.
with you. What do you want? Because he's not leaving here.
at each other. They look back at you.
Why do you care so much?
Because he followed me here, which means I think he's my Pokemon.
I don't see no Pokeball for him.
Let me ask him.
Roll persuasion with disadvantage.
That's an 8.
Okay. The bigger man starts to proceed closer towards you. He stands easily like 6'4", 6'5", so a fair bit taller than you. Reeks of BO. He strokes his beard, which is greasy, and he picks his urine, smooths it over his breast, and he says,
Oh, well. You want this one real bad, don't you?
Yeah, because he deserves better than this.
The tall, thin man, he turns to you and he says, "Ew, what would you do for it?"
I already asked you what you want for it.
I'm asking you, what would you do for it?
It's a really messed up question. Why don't you just tell me what you want?
Two of them look at each other.
What if we don't want nothing?
Everybody has a price. Unfortunate.
Now, see here, you're starting to get on my nerves. Now, you are trespassing. I could call the cops on you.
I'm sure some authority would have an issue with the way that you're treating that Pokemon.
Baldwin looks at you and he says, "What? It's a wild Pokemon. You know, you traders like you come around and catch these all the time. Why can't we?"
You have it in a cage.
The difference is we don't make it perform for other people's entertainment.
High and mighty of you.
Don't really think it's high and mighty. I think it's basic human decency.
Oh, look at me, Mr. High on Principles. Hey. Oh.
Do you see
That's
either
not my
of
name.
our Pokemon in a cage?
Kind of laugh to themselves. The other guy says,
I'm a Pokemon trainer. I don't treat Pokemon like cages.
Hey, Jackson.
Yes?
You're a decent guy. You want to give these guys a good, firm, like, talking to for a second? And I wink at you.
I can try.
Perfect. And I'm going to walk out of the tent for a second. And I'm going to release Sassy.
"Okay."
And I'm going to tell her, see that Pokemon in there? I need you to sneak in. You to pick the lock.
She looks at you and she's like,
You're real good at picking locks, remember? Can you sneak in? Give it a try. I'll distract them.
Jackson, what are you doing?
Now you listen here. You
The tall, gangly one like jumps and he steps back for a minute. Roll intimidation.
Never in my life. Hang on, that's actually pretty good.
My Jackson distraction.
That's an 18.
You start giving it to them.
It's my Jackson
Never
distraction.
in my life have I seen two people be more disrespectful to a young Pokemon trainer with aspirations to be something great, and never have I been so personally disrespected in my life either. You two ought to be ashamed of yourselves. Now release that Chimchar, and we'll be on our way.
The larger man, he stops. He goes, hold on there. I didn't mean to offend you there. You know, I'm sure we can come to some sort of reasonable conclusion.
I come in pretending like I'm crying.
Okay.
See, you made her cry, you monsters.
Roll a performance.
No.
Me or her?
Her.
Me. It's an 8.
An 8. Yeah, they're not really buying your but they're taken aback by this old man who is like waving his cane and lecturing them, and they start backing off. Can you give me a stealth check for Sassy?
Okay.
You can feel her brush against your leg as she goes by.
Cacked. A 10. So not great.
Okay.
Does she get advantage because of how distracted they both are?
No, but the DC is significantly lowered.
Okay.
So, the taller, gangly man, he puts a hand on his counterpart's shoulder, and he says, "Hey, well, you know, I think we could probably make an arrangement. You know, how about to settle this and get you out of our tent? A game."
I'm listening.
What kind of game?
Well, first off, and he turns around and he takes a broomstick that's kind of leaning up against, and he says, "You there, shoo, shoo!" And he starts shooing away. Sassy was like, "Meow, meow, meow," and kind of backing up against one of the crates, and he goes at it with his broomstick. And he says, "First off, you get your Pokemon out of here, and then we'll talk terms."
Okay. I recall Sassy and Liam.
He continues to hold his broomstick, and he looks over to the old man, but he holds it towards the younger girl. And he says, "If it'll get you out of here, the terms are simple. Whoever wins a round of Whack-A-Diglett takes the Pokemon."
Whack-A-Diglett. Like a carnival game.
If you want it so bad, you can face Bubba here. And whoever wins takes the Pokemon. That sounds fair to me.
I'm skeptical about carnival games. Especially considering one of your other booths was weighed down with cement.
It's all fun, you know. There's nothing unfair about it.
Then give me a handicap. As in, like, I get a few extra hits off the top.
The bigger man kind of grunts. And he says,
If it's not rigged.
roll persuasion.
12.
12.
A handicap.
I'm just a little girl.
In the true spirit of carnival games. We have professional integrity. I will not hear it. We will have a carnival game off. Whack-A-Diglett, you versus me for the Pokemon. Take it or leave it.
Okay, I will, but if I lose and I feel that it was unfair due to any mechanisms in here, I'll be reporting you to the local police.
I think you will find that my machine is perfectly adequate.
But are all the machines in the carnival? I'd hate to have, law enforcement come down on your business.
The tall, skinny guy says, "Well, of course they are. None towards here. Like my counterpart said, we have our integrity." And he turns around and he starts moving a couple crates, and he pulls a tarp off of what appeared to be a couple large boxes. However, underneath you see 2 tables with a number of holes in them, a little screen behind it, and colorful ornaments displaying mole Pokemon. There's also a mallet that is padded, tied to a cord to each of these machines. The bigger man says,
To show him a fair sport, you can pick whichever one you want.
Can I take a look at all the machines for any sneaky tricks?
sure, give me an investigation check.
5.
5. Jackson, what are you doing?
Does the oversized Swiss Army knife I have happen to have like pliers with a bolt cutter? With like a wire cutter, I should say, not a bolt cutter.
Yeah, I think it would.
And how thick are the bars on this cage?
They're pretty small. Like this looks like to us
Kind of like a kennel.
Yeah. As players, we would see this as like a small dog kennel. Kind of like the one that you have for Lily, just
Smaller.
much smaller, probably like 2 foot by 1.
Okay. I'm going to let out an exasperated sigh.
I feel that.
Well, all that the blood just rushed all the way to my head. I need to sit down for a minute, and I'm gonna move towards the cage and try to sit down in front of it.
Okay. The Chimchar looks at you and it's like
But I'm gonna sit down with like my back to it.
It's just whimpering, terribly frightened inside this cage.
And I'm going to try to, oh so subtly,
Okay.
take out the Swiss Army knife with like the pliers and start trying to snip at the bars on the cage.
Okay.
To try to make like a little square that it can get out of.
Give me a sleight of hand.
Oh, this isn't gonna go well.
While Jackson is
Or
doing
I'll
that.
roll a natural 19. So that's a 17.
While Jackson is doing that, Brooke, you're inspecting these game tables. As you take a look over them, you can tell that they're pretty worn, like they're old,
Yeah.
and they've seen a lot of use. But specific to the mechanics of them themselves, you don't understand it. This is something outside your league. So it's kind of like a person looking at a car. You open up
Yeah.
the hood and
The
you go,
bottles were a
"Mhm,
lot easier
mhm."
to tell.
Sure, you close the hood,
Yeah.
you kick the tires a couple times, and you're like, I don't
It's
know
a
why
big
it's smoking.
engine.
Yeah.
Hmm. Do they all look the same?
There's 2 of them, and yeah, they look pretty much the same, just
Identical.
in various stages of rust and age.
Various stages of rust. Well, pick one that looks not too new, not too old.
Sure. Yeah, you take the one on the right, and as you saddle up next to it, the larger man settles up to the one to your left. You can smell his BO right there. He's
Yeah.
practically bumping elbows with you. You can feel his arm hairs against your elbow. Jackson, you are very quietly making pretty good work on this kennel. It's going to take you a little bit to get through it, but based on your sleight of hand check, looking up, nobody seems to have noticed you making progress on it. Yeah.
Good, because I always fail where it counts.
And for whatever reason, when Jackson really needs to make a fucking dex check, he makes it.
Like, when I'm trying to convince the Chimchar to be my friend, I fail every roll.
Yeah.
But when
I
I'm
guess
trying
there's
to...
all the times that Jackson almost died that he didn't quite make those saves. But
But when I'm like... I don't know. It makes me angry. Except I'm always successful at saving people's lives, so I don't want to complain too much.
yeah.
Okay. As you stand there, the man looks over at you and he goes, and he spits on the ground, and then he kicks his machine, and the lights start up. And he nods over at you.
I kick my machine.
Okay, you do so, and you hear metal clanging, and then the machine starts up. You can see a score sort of come up, and then the numbers shift, and then go to 0. And then a message appears over, and it says, "Score 10 points! Score 10 points! Score 10 points!" And the machine starts to whir. Time for... not the exact same. And then the carnival music starts up. He picks up the mallet attached to your machine, and he hands it to you. There you go.
Thank you.
You handle it, and it can already feel like his sweat on the handlebar. He holds his in one hand, and he spits in the other, and he rubs it over the handle, and he says,
"What you didn't know is I'm the best darn carny in this carnival at Whack-A-Diglett. But I'm sure you got this handled." Right.
"Can I get you to roll initiative?"
22.
22.
Because apparently I can roll well for initiative lately.
So, this is how this is going to go, okay? So, every turn, a Pokemon is going to pop up
Yeah.
out of the hole,
Yeah.
and you are going to try to hit it with your mallet, okay?
Yeah.
You're not proficient in mallet,
No.
but you can add your strength or dex.
Strength. Not my dex. I was really scared that you were going to say it was a dex, and I was like, I'll just give up
Same.
now.
I'll be back.
New,
Going, obviously.
yeah, the machine starts going, and first Pokemon to pop out is a Diglett. The man beside you is already on top of it, and he swings for it.
He rolled a higher initiative than me?
He rolled a natural 20.
Rolled a 19.
But he misses it. Smack on the table.
Okay.
Your turn. Popping out of yours is not a Diglett, but a Dugtrio. 3 of these small, brown, hairy mole Pokemon pop out.
But are you supposed to hit all
front
of
of you.
them? The rules were never explained.
Yeah.
Okay. That was a 13.
13. It disappears inside. And he smiles and he goes,
Those ones are a bit harder to hit. First time, I understand.
I mean, you missed on the Diglett.
he spits. A Diglett pops up for him. He goes to take a swipe at it, this time hitting it. Your turn. For you, another Diglett pops up.
Another 14.
14, you hit that, scoring 1 point. Next round. For him, another Diglett pops up. He takes a swing at it, and he hits it. He looks over at you, and a Diglett pops up for you.
A 15.
That hits. You bonk it, and he smiles.
You're pretty good at this.
Another Diglett pops up, and he hits it. For you, another Diglett pops up.
It's a 4.
4 does not hit. He smiles.
Shitty thing was, it was cocked with a nat 20. The first.
Another Diglett pops up for him, and he misses as well, smashing the table.
So, okay.
For you, another Diglett pops up.
The 10.
You miss it. For him, another Diglett pops up, and he misses it.
Natural 1.
Natural 1. Another Diglett, but you miss it. For him, another Diglett pops up, and he hits it. Netting him 4 points. For you, a Dugtrio pops up.
That was a 9.
9, and it disappears away, and he smiles.
Dice suck.
Another
My
Diglett
dice
pops up
always
for him, and
fail
he
me.
misses it. You guys are currently at 4-2. Diglett pops up for you.
17.
You hit it. now at 4-3. Diglett pops up for him, and he misses it. A Diglett pops up for you,
20.
and you hit it. You guys are now tied, 4-4. Diglett pops up for him, and he misses it. A Doug Trio pops up for you,
Tact. 7.
and you miss it. It disappears. You'll note that the Doug Trio seem to be a little faster than their Diglett counterpart. A Doug Trio pops up for him, and he hits it. You'll note that his scoreboard goes up by 3. He is now at 7, and you're at 4. For you, a Diglett pops up,
17.
and you hit it. A Diglett pops up for him, and he hits it. A Diglett pops up for you,
8.
and you miss it. A Doug Trio pops up for him. Cocked. And he hits it, ringing in 10 points.
You got 10 additional points, or he's at?
He's at 11 points.
Oh.
You're ranging him up 3 points for the Doug Trio. A number of bells and whistles start going off on the machine, and it shakes and whirs and then shuts down. And he smiles and he says,
Oh, tough luck.
Jackson, in the meanwhile, while they've been playing this, the tall, skinny guy's been standing behind his counterpart, cheering him on. Neither of them have noticed as you finish cutting the bars of this cage. And what are you doing?
So I've got like a little hole in it now.
Yep.
I'm just going to like put my fingers in it and pull it out without really moving, and I'm just gonna like shimmy forward a little bit
Okay.
and look back at the Chimchar and just like, go, you can get out, go.
Give me a quick Pokemon handling check.
That's not bad. 12 plus or 16.
16. The Chimchar looks at you and goes, and it runs out the hole and takes off towards the edge of the tent, making a pretty speedy attempted getaway. Brook, you're staring at this man who is grinning down at you, and he's picking his teeth now. There's something big and green in it, and he goes,
Well, looks like I won fair and square. Better luck
Oh,
next
I put the
time.
pliers away if I didn't say it, but I put the pliers away.
sorry?
He said he put the pliers away.
Oh, okay. Yep. The tall man says,
Yeah, well, you better be getting on out of here. We're gotta finish packing up this place, and well, I think I got a little suit around here somewhere for our new little Pokemon friend.
they both turn around and they look, and Jackson is sitting next to the cage, and the cage is entirely empty.
But do I notice?
I think you would notice that the cage is empty.
Yeah. I guess you won fair and square.
The tall, lanky man says,
Oh, wait a gosh darn moment.
What?
What? What did?
What?
and the big one goes,
What did you do with our Pokemon?
I was playing a game with you!
he looks at you
Hey.
and looks at the cage, and he looks at the old man.
I didn't do anything.
What's your cage made out of?
Two of them walk over, and the big one says,
Steal of I don't know.
Well, it's a fire type Pokemon. I mean, clearly it probably just heated up the metal and escaped itself.
roll deception?
I mean, it's not a lie. I don't know Jackson did it.
Yeah, but you're deceiving them into believing that
It's a
there was nothing untoward.
It's a 3 probably.
Turn around and say,
I think I would have noticed that. This big gosh darn hole inside here.
And the two of them start looking around, and the one goes,
Here, come here, little guy. Come here. Come on.
Perhaps your cage was faulty? I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Pokemon can be really tricky.
tall, lanky one just looks at you and says,
Get out of here. Go on, get. Or I'll call the police on you. Now you are trespassing. You are no longer welcome on our premises.
Okay.
and the other one's still like almost crawling on the ground, going,
Here, come on. Where you get? Come on.
And I will get up and start walking out of the tent.
I also leave, and the minute I'm out of the tent, I pop out Ryulu. But I gestured to him, and I go,
Viola goes, "Oh."
I start looking for the Chimchar.
Okay. Can I get you guys to give me another perception check?
Does Ryulu get to make one
Sure.
too?
Yeah, all of you guys can make a perception check.
I rolled literally the exact same thing.
Okay.
3.
17 for me, and a 6 for Ryulu.
Okay. Rylo's looking around. He gets distracted by a popcorn machine going by, and he goes, "Oh."
I already ate all the popcorn.
Jackson, there's a lot of loud noises and commotion around, and this has been a lot for you. But Brooke, you notice down the way a little bit, one of the last tents, aside from the one that you just came out of, being pulled down. Behind one of the flaps, you see this small ape-like form hiding behind just a bit of canvas.
Does
looking
he
around.
see me? Or do they see me?
Here's two.
I'm gonna kneel down, and I'm gonna pull the flower out of my bag.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna say,
It looks at you and goes, give me a Pokemon handling check.
natural 20.
Oh, hell yeah.
It throws aside the canvas tent flap and it comes running towards you. And it jumps right into your arms.
Did you follow me here? You don't have to be alone anymore. Do you want to join me? And these guys?
I know.
And I
Looks
hold out
around
the
and
Pokeball.
buries its face into your collar.
I hold out the Pokeball,
Mm-hmm.
and I ask him again, do you want to join me?
Give me a Pokemon handling with advantage.
Only a 6.
Really?
I can imagine Brooke is probably crying, yeah.
Between the
Well,
two of
sorry,
those.
I forgot to add my Pokemon handling. It's a 9.
A 9. The Chimchar shies away from the Pokeball, but it doesn't leave you. It just tucks its face deeper into your collar
Okay.
and just kind of huddles there. Scared.
Maybe you're not ready yet? Do you want to just come with us?
Just holds onto you tightly.
Okay. And I just scoop him up, wrap my coat around him so he's hid.
Okay. As you're scooping it, it takes very special care to like guard its one
Yeah.
handicapped
Yeah.
side, disabled side.
And I hand Jackson the Pokeball, and I say, I don't think I get to have him yet, but maybe he can come with us.
You can hang out for a bit. Hopefully he'll come around.
Yeah. I don't want to force it.
Nope, entirely fair.
And I wipe tears from my face, and I just make sure he's hid.
Okay.
Or she, because I don't know yet.
Can you give me a quick sleight of hand check?
Okay.
Or a stealth, whatever's better.
Either. It's a 5.
5. Okay, as you guys are having this interaction, the tent that you just came from, the flaps fly open, and you see the two people walk out. The one tall, lankier one looks over at you and immediately sees this Pokemon huddled in your coat, and their eyes go big, and they go, "Dang, damn it! You took it!
I didn't take it. It came to me, and it doesn't want to go with you.
Give it back! We had that fair and square. We had a deal.
And it escaped.
What he
It
said.
doesn't seem like you had it fair and square if it got out.
The bigger man ducks back into the tent for a second. He comes back out, and he's got a big wrench. And he says,
Now listen here. You're on our land. You follow our rules.
This is city property.
I don't see any cops around here.
I'm not letting you have them.
So let me get this straight. A Pokemon escapes your cage, and your first response is to threaten an elderly man and a teenager with physical violence.
they look at each other, and the tall one nods.
Yeah?
Jackson, when we got a Pokemon training card, did it say anything about defending ourselves against not Pokemon trainers?
I can't remember.
It said I couldn't fight trainers. I remember that. Can I just not get in a fight, even if it's self-defense?
I seem to recall us getting in a bit of trouble on the bus when we, took out those robbers.
There were guns involved.
I'll let you use your discretion. The general rules or laws, as you know them, are that you, as a Pokemon trainer, if you are commanding your Pokemon to attack a civilian,
No,
an
Brooke is
individual-
ready to go fisticuffs if this man lays a hand on her or the
Oh.
Chimchar.
I mean, that's just
Self-defense.
battery and
Oh,
assault.
then yeah.
Assault and battery.
No, it's self-defense if he lays a hand on me. He's a grown man!
But yeah, obviously you guys were in a situation a while back now where you were on a bus and there was an armed altercation, and you didn't see any immediate action anyways against you, just kind of a lecture about safety. So obviously there are situations where you probably wouldn't be pressed for, say, defending yourself.
Okay. Then I stand there, and I look him down, and I say, Jackson's right. You're out here verbally threatening an elderly man and a 16-year-old girl. Does that make you feel big? Because I'll tell you what, you're not taking this Pokemon from me. And if you lay a hand on me, I will defend myself.
Okay. Can I get
You
one
don't
of you
scare me.
to give me an intimidation roll with advantage?
Sure.
I think you're more charismatic than me.
That's well, that's the same on both of them.
Oh.
And it's not great. That's a 7.
Okay.
I rolled 2 6s.
The larger man puts his arms out and he looks around, and as he does so, you follow his gaze and you can see that there's a couple other blue collar, overalled, maybe less well-to-do individuals getting keen to this situation. A couple of them starting to approach, and the bigger man says,
Look around, sister. Look around, Pops. I think you're outnumbered.
I have a weird question.
Hmm.
Are there any buildings that have awnings or other things that a Pokemon could, say, jump up onto and get on top of a roof?
So where you are immediately, you're next to one tent that has been partially disassembled. There's another tent right behind you that they just came out of that is still up. Beyond that, everything else has been in the progress of being torn down, and you're kind of in the middle of the street at the edge of the town. So you're away from structures, mostly. Just trucks, lots of crates, and individuals packing and now
Then I
interested in this.
suck it in and I zip up my coat
Mm-hmm.
and I say, like I said, you don't scare me. And I grab Liam's hand and I start to try and walk away.
Same.
Because I'm a bigger person than to pick the fight, but I will defend myself.
Right, yeah, you turn to walk away, and both of you feel a hand on your shoulder.
A large masculine hand,
Oh, yeah. in
not
both
like
parts.
not like an Officer Jenny hand.
No, so Brooke, you specifically see and feel the hand of the large man known as Bubba. He grabs your arm. Jackson, one of the other individuals who was on the scene, he's got a big bushy mustache, bald head. He comes over and he grabs you by the arm.
Okay.
And he
I
says,
say,
Where do you think you're
I'm
going?
telling you right now, let go of me, because this is your warning. Anything that precedes this is self-defense. Let go.
just hear a laughter around the crowd now.
Kick him in the nuts.
Okay. Make an attack roll. And add your strength modifier.
Am I proficient in my kick?
No, because you're not proficient
It's a
in unarmed
4.
strikes. It's a
We're not
4.
proficient in Rochambeau.
No.
Yeah, you kick wildly, like a teenager being grasped by a grown man, and he just kind of twists you around.
Liam, go get help.
Liam goes to run away. Yeah, and then he stops and he looks back at you, and he's like, "Roar,
Go get police.
roar, roar, roar."
Please.
A little Pokemon handling.
16.
He huffs.
Defend yourself if you have to.
And he runs off. A man does try to grab him as he's running by. Liam easily ducks under him and keeps running. This little Pokemon is slippery as he tries to run away. Jackson, what are you doing?
I'm just gonna start shouting for help, because I'm a very old man and I can't deal with this shit.
Okay.
Can I attempt to get out of his grasp?
Can you attempt to get out of his grasp? Give me a contested grapple check.
Fuck. It's a 10.
He holds you firmly and he says,
Going somewhere? I don't think so.
How am I being held?
he's got your arm in one hand.
Can I slide under the behemoth's legs and see if I can topple him over?
This would still be trying to break the grapple, so you could use a contested acrobatics or something.
No. It was more of I wanted to use his weight against him.
I
I have every intention of fighting back the whole time, so I don't know how you want to go about that.
Jackson, what are you yelling?
Huh?
What are
you're-
you yelling?
You're yelling?
I'm yelling, help, please. Being assaulted.
Give me just a general constitution check.
Oh, great. Hey, that's not bad. It's a 9, so that's a 14.
Wow, yeah. You yell
Good job, Jackson.
surprisingly loud and surprisingly long for a man of your age. As you do so, does an 18 hit you?
Oh, yeah.
So you're going to take 2 points of damage to the gut as the man with the bushy mustache just drives his fist into there. And he says,
He
you want
punched
another
Jackson
one?
in the face.
No, in the gut.
In the gut.
Oh. Still, he punched.
Yeah, knocking the air out of him temporarily.
Can I reach him?
Can you reach you?
The guy that just hit Jackson.
No, you are grappled. You cannot move.
I'm gonna try and deck the guy in the head.
Okay. Give me an attack roll.
All while screaming. That's a 8.
An 8.
I'm like continually screaming, "Let go of me!" I am playing victim hard, but fighting back.
Okay. Yeah, you take another swing, and he actually like catches your fist and throws it off to the side. He's laughing now. Another man comes up to you in an attempt to restrain you. I need you to make another contested grapple check.
8.
8. Yeah, he grabbed your other arm, and he's now got you held that. So you're held by 2 individuals, and you are considered restrained for the purpose of this. Jackson, another individual, comes up to you with a rag in his hand and attempts to shove it in your mouth and restrain you.
Bite him.
Give me a contested grapple.
Bite him.
That's a... Actually, it's not too bad. What is my strength? Oh, it's -3. So that turns into a 14.
Okay. Surprisingly, this guy wasn't expecting it. He's got a bit of a paunch, and you kick out, and you hit him in the stomach, and he backs off a little bit, spitting. He does not have you grappled, so you were still grappled by 1 individual, but you are not restrained.
Can
Brooke,
I
what are you doing?
bonus action spit in one guy's face and then try and use it as a distraction to kick him in the nuts?
I'd say a free action to spit in his face. You are still restrained, though, so it's going to be a disadvantage. But you can absolutely spit at someone as a free action.
That one's
I'll
cocked.
allow it.
In the face as a distraction. That's a 6.
6.
I was hoping to get it at least
Another miss.
neutral.
These men are brutes. Like, this is basically the grunt force, labor force of this carnival. They set it up, they tear it down. They are built for manual labor, and you probably can imagine a few of these people have killed people before.
Fantastic.
Yeah, at this point in time, the 2 individuals who have you held are dragging you towards the tent.
Oh, please, I want to go.
Jackson, another individual is coming back. The individual who you managed to fend off before is coming back with that rag.
I'm a bite him again.
Okay, can you give me a contested grapple?
Yep. Hey, that's another 14.
Wow.
Good job,
This
Jackson.
time he fends your old man legs and arms and flailing this
Damn it.
away, and he shoves the rag in your mouth, stopping your yelling, cutting you quiet, and he grabs your other arm. So now you are considered restrained.
Damn it.
I will note, at this time, you see a different figure enter the scene. This is an individual who looks quite different than the rest of the crew. He's wearing fairly nice clothing, athletic, a bit of a tank top with gold embellishments on it, a golden chain with a Pokébox symbol hanging from it. He's got a bald head, glasses with very thin rim. He is wearing very baggy gray sweatpants. One leg is covered with a number of sponsor stickers. And next to him, you see Liam. And Liam is pointing. And this individual looks around and he says, "Now, dudes, I know you don't want to be doing this." And everybody else looks around at him. And one guy walks up to him and he says,
Who are you, Pipsqueak?
and this man, who is not small, he's decently overweight, maybe going on 5'7", 5'8", looks up at this other guy and says, "Come on, dude, I want you to back up. I want you to move on out of my personal space. Give me a moment."
Did Liam go find like the one adult who looked authoritative? I found this guy. He's good enough.
He says,
He found us an MMA fighter.
he says, "I am going to give you all one opportunity to back away from these people and go on with your business." And Brooke, you are already being dragged away.
They haven't stopped.
No.
Come on.
The man looks over and he points at you and he says, "You there, dudes, I know you ain't dragging her away. You stop, put her down, leave right there, and you won't get hurt." And the one big guy looks at you and he looks over at him and goes, at this point, the man pulls a Pokeball off of his belt. Sorry, he doesn't have a belt. Out of his baggy pocket, and he chucks it to the ground. And before you appears this absolutely massive blue
Does it look like I'm a
and
champ?
blue and yellowish water serpenty type creature.
Oh.
And it rears up over top of the tent, taller than any building in this town. Its mouth is huge and gaping with fangs. It has a number of frills running down the back of its body. And as it coils there, the carnies all start to slowly back off. Both the people that are holding you let you go.
I run towards Liam.
Same
and give
with
him a
you.
hug, to give him a hug.
Jackson. And this massive water snake, this huge fish, just growls.
It's a terrifying sound.
And leers down at a number of them. One guy falls over backwards and he starts backing up slowly. And Liam shakes a fist at him. And he grabs your hand and holds you close.
Good job, buddy.
At this point, the man is even more confident in himself and he crosses his arms. You can see both arms are covered in tattoos, sleeves. One has a creature that looks very much like this massive water snake that he just released, except for thicker. It's got these glowing ruby-like protrusions coming out of its side, and the sea around it is just like a tsunami. On the other is this large, majestic, quadrupedal creature with iron-like embellishments. It looks legendary, is the only way to put it, like a creature of myth and legend. And he waves his hand and he says, "All right, now you can all just kindly fuck off. Get out of here and there won't be any more trouble." Slowly, one by one, the carnies each start to disperse. As they do so, the large water snake starts to and spit up bits of water, just breaking crates around it, and causes the carnies to just scatter even faster. And pretty soon you guys are left there, basically alone with this man.
Sir, I don't know who you are, but thank you.
He waves a finger at you and he says, "You don't know who I am?"
I'm new
Please.
to Wundoro.
"Oh, well, you are in the company of royalty."
Oh.
My name is June, and he puts out a hand. His fingers each have big rings on them, and he shakes your hand daintily.
Brook, nice to meet you. What is that water Pokemon?
He puts a hand on it, and he smacks the back of it, and it thuds almost like it's a shell. Thump, thump. And he says, "Oh, dude, this here's Gyarados.
It's really cool.
Yeah, long-time partner of mine. He is pretty cool, huh?
Yep.
Toughest one in Wundoro.
Looking Pokemon.
Mm-hmm. This here's the number 3 champion-winning Pokemon in all of Wundoro. Take note."
Oh. Wow.
Wait, so like, are you like a gym leader or something?
Don't you watch TV?
I mean, in
Gym leader, come on.
Brava.
You're fucking with me.
Are you like, does Brava have like an Elite Four?
They don't have a Pokemon league, but they have trainers in sports and stuff like that.
Okay, I'm from a really like small place called Brava. We don't have a Pokemon league. this is new to me. So if you're not a gym leader, does that mean you're like higher up than a gym leader?
Fuck yeah. And he turns around and
Oh.
he waves at the back of his pants, and you can see a number of badges
Oh.
that are sewn on to the back of it that aren't. They don't look like sponsorships, corporate sponsorships like the other ones. These one looked like a series of. Well, you would have seen one of the designs. A metallic wing that is wreathed in brambles. You would have seen this inside the
Brambletown.
gym of Brambletown.
Yeah.
There are 8 there, and he waves to them very proudly, and he says, "That's not all. I'm having a hard time believing that you two have never heard of me before. Seriously, Joy Bang June? Not at all?
Sorry.
Sorry, not me. My memory isn't what it used to be.
3rd place champion, Wundoro Elite last year, annual? No?
I mean, it was probably televised, and I probably saw bits, but I'm keep pretty busy. I didn't watch a lot of the competition.
Just kind of deflates a little bit.
sorry.
And he says, Gyarados, come back. And he calls back his Pokemon.
Oh, we wounded his ego.
So can you what? Just be straight with me. Like we're standing in royalty, like Pokemon royalty, or like royalty. I'm just confused. Like
There may be some that say different, but in Wundoro, this is my country. Okay? I own this town.
so you like a part of the what are they called? Is it like Elite Four? Or
Elite
something?
Four!
Oh,
They don't got nothing on me. I am a Wundoro champion.
So you
I
beat them.
bested the Elite Four
Oh,
of Wundoro.
that's an amazing achievement.
You bet it is.
Congratulations.
Now, I'm here for business,
Mhm.
and I believe I've ran into some luck here. Your small accomplish clued me in that you needed a bit of help. You got yourself in a bit of a bind, I see, but not the first that I've heard of.
You've heard of us?
Yes, I got a phone call from the professor herself, asking me to come down here and look into a Houndoom that you two ran into sometime.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
Fuck yeah, I'm here
So
to
she
take
sent
care of your
you.
Houndoom problem.
that's awesome.
Yeah, I was in town for the fireworks, and I figured, what the hell not? No, we're an old favor, why not?
That's awesome.
Perfect.
Was she your professor?
Yeah, she was my patron, absolutely. That was some all 15 years ago now.
Jackson, looks like we got a good professor.
Oh,
then.
shit.
Looks like we did.
The best.
That's awesome. That's I mean, Liam, you done good. You picked a champion.
Riley was like, and June kind of kneels down and puts out a fist, and Railu fist bumps him, and he says, "Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. All right, I'm on a bit of a tight schedule here, so if you can tell me anything you know where I can find this Pokemon, I'll let you be on your business, and I'll be taking care of mine."
Yeah. I pull out the map.
Yeah. And we'll
Uh,
point out where it should have approximately been.
Okay. He hovers over and he points and he says, "Right about here, eh? Okay." And all right, that about does it for me. And you two need to start taking care of yourself a little bit better. If you pick a fight with that many people, I get hurt.
Who said we picked the fight?
That little guy inside your jacket. And kind of points like this, and you can see this well, you can feel this bundling, this shaking heat.
Would you
Inside
have
your
rather
jacket.
me kept him
Aw.
caught in a cage
He
by a
Sorta
couple of
rolls his
ruthless
eyes a little
carnies
bit.
poking at him?
says,
And I mean, I didn't break him out. I don't know how he got out.
he laughs. He says, "As long as I don't find out that Pokemon is stolen, or else I might have to serve another favor and come back here and pull you two in."
Like I
this
said.
is an injured one that we found a while ago.
Yeah.
You seem to follow us over here.
Shame.
They were one of the ones that was being imprisoned, so to speak, by the Houndoon.
Shit. Well, that's
I didn't realize that followed us here.
yeah, that's oh, sure. Well, look after it. Look after yourselves, and
Thanks again.
yeah,
It was
you
a
know,
pleasure to meet you.
Yeah.
least I can do. And hey, next time you're near a TV, spend any time in a Pokemon Center, turn to the Battle Channel. Like, heard of me?
Probably good for strategy too.
I'm sure you probably haven't heard of Arthur Brown either. Shit.
Nope.
Nope. Sorry.
It's
Another one like you. Another champion?
that's fucked up. All right, you two educate yourselves. Have a good day.
That boy ain't right.
Liam,
Peace.
Of all the people you could have found, you found a champion that defeated the Elite Four? Are you crazy? That I
Ryola
just
kind of
step up.
waves you off, and he's like, and he fish
To
bumps
be
you.
fair, it was very effective.
It was so effective. Holy crap. That thing was huge.
That was bigger than anything I think I've ever seen.
It was like as big as a house.
Easily
I
the
don't
biggest
think I've
Pokemon
seen
that either of you
buildings
have ever
that big.
seen.
Even me?
Yeah.
Okay. Like that Pokemon is bigger than any Pokemon that I dealt with back at home in the rescue.
I didn't think any living
saying
thing
something.
could grow to be that big other than maybe trees.
Shit, do you think there's Pokemon bigger than that?
Oh god, I don't know. And I don't know if I'm more terrified of the prospect of that or enthralled.
That's terrifying. And he had like tattoos, and there was the one that was like very clearly the Gyarados, but what was that other one?
I don't know.
I've never felt so uneducated on Pokemon.
I mean,
And I grew
welcome
up
to my
around.
life.
This was eventful. But with these carnies still around, I'm not super comfortable spending any more time here.
You do see a couple people in the distance kind of looking over, and one guy points over in your guys' direction.
You want to go to the Pokemart and get out of here?
Yeah, we should probably get to the Pokemon.
Okay. Go to the Pokemart.
All right.
I give
So-
Jackson his Pokeball back.
We'll go to the Pokemart. This is probably a good time to end this. You guys can tell me what you want to buy.
Yeah.
How much are Pokeballs? 200?
So, Pokeballs are 250.
250.
Pokeballs are 250. Potions are 200.
Potions, antidotes, paralyze heals are all 200.
Okay, I'll just buy one more Pokeball. Because I don't think that there's anything I can buy for 120 Pokebucks there.
I'm gonna buy
There are rations that are 20 gold per day
4 Pokeballs
for one creature.
Oh, for one creature. So for the party, it would be 80 a day.
Yeah, so
I'll
there's
get another day's worth of rations.
Oh crap. I'm gonna buy 3 Pokeballs.
Okay.
Not 4. And I'm gonna buy oh. One potion. Is there anything that's less than 200 that isn't rations? I still have a decent amount of.
less than 200 that isn't. There's fresh water for 200. But other than that, yeah, rations. Any miscellaneous other, etc.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
How much is it for rations?
20 Pokebucks per day. So a day's worth of rations for
Yeah.
one creature is 20 Pokebucks.
By 3. Me broke again.
Okay, so that's the end to another exciting episode of Pokemon D&D Wundoro Adventure. How you guys doing?
Nice. Good.
Good.
Really would have loved if I could have just caught it with that nat 22. You're making me work for this.
I was almost gonna ask at one point how big the gaps in the cage were. If you could just like throw a Pokeball at the cage and get it through, and then catch it.
I had thought about seeing if he would join me. That was the whole me going, well, I gotta think it's maybe mine. It followed me here.
Yeah.
I was gonna offer it to come with me, but the guy kind of got the better of me.
He did, unfortunately.
Yeah.
He beat you at Whack-A-Diglett.
Yep. I swear to God, if you make this Chimchar run away from me again, I'm going to make you sleep in the doghouse outside.
Hey.
I have to have it.
I need it.
I do.
So, I guess our next Pokemon D&D is going to be on the 18th. So not next Monday, but the Monday after that. Tomorrow is Code Vein with Matthew.
Heck yeah.
Friday is Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Probably more Paladins or Battle Gimps.
Yeah.
Hearthstone.
Yeah, working Hearthstone.
Whatever Andy chooses to play. Friday is our regular Friday stream, and I think we're still doing some Paladins.
Yeah, unless you guys wanted to do something else. Because I know Melissa hasn't been playing. I mean, she's not a huge fan of Paladin, so if there's something that you guys would rather play, I can always bow out for a Friday if you guys want.
I
That's fair
cannot
enough.
handle Paladin. Steven was playing it on Sunday, and he wanted me to come in here and hang out with him while he played, and I was like, I can hardly stand people's arrogance from the other room, and you want me to sit in the same room with these people that are behaving so shitty?
Yep.
I can't play games like that online. Like, I can't.
Oh, I just have to mute everybody.
Oh.
Because I'll start beaking back, and I won't like, I won't get like super salty, but I'll definitely start to feel it a little bit, and I'll start to actually get a little annoyed.
Yeah, see, that's
And then
part
it
of my
shows that
problem.
I'll probably get like reported just because I'm just being a shit.
Being salty
More
back,
trolling than anything.
I would be the same way.
Not even being salty back, but just being like a troll.
I mean, I'll see if there's anything that we can play over Steam together that we're all cool with. If not, I'm fine with you guys playing Paladins. If I really get the itch to play something online, I'll be like, okay, I want to play this.
Sure.
Take a break. But we'll say tentatively.
Enjoy with you. I just don't want you to
Paladins.
be excluded, that's all.
Yeah, it's hard because I don't love all of the same
Oh, I know.
online games as you guys. I'm like, I want to play Overcooked! Like a big cheese.
Yeah, and then I found out that you can't frickin' play it online.
Yeah, the first one you definitely can't, but I'm not sure about the second.
I don't know. I might have to look into that one.
Yeah.
Because I've noticed some people streaming it, but they might have just figured a workaround. I'm not
There
sure.
is a workaround on how to do number 1, but I don't understand those things. And for number
yeah, and
2,
it's a little convoluted.
yeah.
From what I've seen.
And from number 2, I'm not sure because like when I log in, there's like a bottom thing that says like players, and anybody who logs in under mine shows up as like my screen name. So I assume that other people can, but I'm just not sure, and I haven't looked into it yet.
Yeah.
Maybe.
All right. Well, I guess it's time to say thank you to @JoeTheDM, again on Twitter,
Thanks,
for the
Joe.
Pokemon homebrew we played
Thank
here.
you.
You can find out more about that at www.pokemon5e.com. Thank you to @TheLighterArts, again on Twitter,
Can there be
for...
an episode where I don't cry for the next little bit?
I can't promise. For the player tokens that we used today, you can see them all up on the board. One today she did was excellent for Dewey. Thank you so much. Thank you to Kevin McLeod of Incompetech.com for the background music, and thank you to at underscore Mikkel, sorry, Mikkel underscore Beats for the Pokey and Chill soundtrack. You've heard all of that here today, and yeah, we appreciate being able to use it. So,
Yeah.
Thank you.
It definitely helps to set the mood.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, if you're out there and you enjoyed what you heard, tell us what you think the title for this episode is. Even if it's already titled, we are going to change it if you come up with something better or even more punny.
Oh, yeah. So go on over to YouTube with those suggestions, because we'll have it uploaded probably tomorrow, maybe the day after.
Yeah, I'll see if I can't even get it up tonight so that it lands tomorrow.
Perfect.
Yeah, we'll see what that looks like. This is kind of new for us.
Yep.
But that's all I got. Anything else, guys?
No, I don't think so.
No, I don't got nothing.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Thank you again for joining us, Matt.
No problem. Thank you.
Ciao, everybody.